He scores! Brett Hull!
Up to Shanahan. To the slot. He shot. He scores!
Emerson up the right wing over the line. Stops. Spins. Into the slot. Great move. He shot. He scores!
St. Louis Blues hockey is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Your Midwest GMC truck dealers, Bellman, Bomarito, and Brooklyn GMC. Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart. McDonald's Restaurants, your place for extra value meals. And by your local bottler of Coca-Cola Classic, the official soft drink of the St. Louis Blues. The Discover card, it pays to discover. And by your Missouri, Illinois, Lincoln Mercury dealers. And by Hardee's, your place for fresh fried chicken and biscuits. Your greater St. Louis Nissan dealers. Missouri Lottery. And by BMW.
Expo Hall, Tampa, Florida, on the Florida State Fairgrounds, and it's the home of the NHL expansion, Tampa Bay Lightning. And the Blues are here concluding a road trip, meeting the Lightning for the 4th time this season. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Florida. I'm Ken Wilson, along with Joe Micheletti. Bruce Affleck is also here, and the Blues are concluding this road trip, time to make it 3 wins out of 4. And, well, I don't know about you, Joe, but as a kid, I never envisioned the day where I would see an NHL game played down here in Florida.
No, growing up in Hibbing, Minnesota, you know, and thinking hockey was only played 6 months out of the year with all snow, I never envisioned it either, but now that you and I are doing this, I'm glad we're here.
Yeah, it's a nice benefit, and maybe next year down to Miami, you never know. These two teams certainly envisioning playoff spots. Neither one in them right now. In fact, when you look at the last 3 spots in the Norris Division, you see you've got Toronto 4th, St. Louis 5th, Tampa Bay 6th.
Well, and those teams are going to keep going at it here. When you talk about Tampa Bay, you know, it wasn't all that long ago that they were ahead of the Blues in the standings. And, of course, after a bad road trip now, then the Blues playing much better are 10 points ahead of them. But Terry Crisp continues to remind his players, hey, we still have a chance to make the playoffs, and we have to start playing much better in our division.
And, of course, the note that Toronto is at home tonight against Chicago, and the Leafs will be in Chicago tomorrow night. The Blues are certainly looking forward to getting home Tuesday night against Toronto, but they can't forget this game, and they come in having really played, as Joe mentioned, extremely well of late. In fact, they've won 5 out of 6.
And they've only lost 2 games in their last 9, Ken, and they are really playing together as a team. They're doing things as a team, scoring goals, playing good defensive hockey, and everyone is contributing, and that's something that they were lacking earlier in the year, but it seems to all be coming together now.
They have 2 of the league's top 20 scorers, Brett Hull, and the Blues' leading scorer, Craig Janney.
Now, we talked about the game the other night prior to that Ottawa game, how the Blues are going to need their best players to play well. Boy, did Craig Janney ever have a night, a goal, a couple of assists. He dominated that game.
Yeah, he's in fact had a goal in each of the last 2 games after a 20-game stretch where Craig had only 1 goal. Let's turn to Tampa Bay. Joe, you mentioned the fact that they're just back from a long road trip. They had to play 9 in a row on the road, believe it or not.
Yeah, they really had a tough road trip. In those 9 games on the road, Ken, they only scored 20 goals, and yet they allowed 40 goals, and those 2 statistics don't mix well at all.
Early in the season here in Florida, they were talking all about the veteran Chris Kontos. He was scoring goals by the bushel basketful, but now the name that they all talk about is Brian Bradley.
Boy, he's had quite the year with the 32 goals, and he's also a plus hockey player, which in itself is quite a feat. But Brian Bradley is a player that this is his 4th team now. He was in Calgary, was in Vancouver, was in Toronto, never really got a real good chance, but Terry Crisp coached him in the minor leagues, liked him, liked his talent, decided to bring him here, and he's flourished.
Well, Bruce Affleck, as we mentioned, is with us. I don't know if Bruce is downstairs here or if he's outdoors by the nearby lake. Where are you, Bruce?
Well, I've got the regular jacket on, but I've got the shorts, the bathing suit underneath, right, guys? Well, Joe, you know, earlier you were talking about snow and being up from Hibbing, Minnesota. Well, there's snow here, too, but it's a little different down in Tampa. We're just east of Tampa here. The palm trees swaying in the background. This is just before the game tonight. And we do have snow for you, Joe. Unfortunately, it's just from the Zamboni, and it won't last very long. But the same things still happen before the game. The guys have to get their sticks ready. We caught Guy Bear working on his stick. The players were outside doing this, so it's quite different than their typical rink around North America. And Guy Bear doing some work on his lumber, just filing it down right around where he keeps his hand, and he does that to all his sticks. They just don't come in quite right from the factory, and gets it smoothed out. Of course, the palm trees we mentioned. And the players getting ready for the game. Lee Norwood riding the bike outside, getting warmed up for the game. So those things never change. Inside tonight, it'll still be hockey, the Blues against Tampa Bay. And a big game for the Blues to conclude this 4-game road trip. And obviously, they'd like to win 3 out of the 4, and they need a victory against the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight.
All right, Bruce. Well, here tonight, indoors in this sort of makeshift arena, they have a sellout. And in fact, they've got a game here tomorrow night. They're going to sell out again. And the response to hockey, I think, has been pretty enthusiastic here.
It really has been good, and the people just keep coming. It's very difficult to get a ticket here. In fact, before the game, Curtis Joseph was supposed to get 3 tickets for some buddies of his that drove in for the game 3 hours. Forgot to get the ticket, so he was trying to get Harold Sneps to get him some tickets before the game. I'm not sure if Harold had any luck or not, because at 3 o'clock, all the extra tickets, they go on sale, and people, they buy them up here quickly.
And they make a lot of noise, and we're just about ready for the teams to come on the ice and for the Blues and Lightning to get together for the 4th time this season. And we're ready for you to sit back and enjoy this one. The Blues and Lightning here in Florida coming up next. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Welcome back to Tampa Bay. Joe Micheletti, Ken Wilson, and Bruce Affleck here as the Blues get ready to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Blues, of course, their 4th and final game of this road trip. It would be a great way to end this trip with a victory here tonight against the Lightning. One key note for the Blues, Jeff Brown, who was hit in the foot by a puck in that game against the Ottawa Senators, came out in warm-ups, tried it, did not work, so Jeff Brown is out of the lineup, and Murray Barron is in, and here's our national anthem.
What so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Mark Lynch with tonight's rendition of the national anthem. The goaltenders for tonight's game. In goal for the Blues, his 2nd consecutive game, is Curtis Joseph. This is the 4th game in 4 tries against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pat Jablonski will also make his 4th start in goal against the Blues. Jablonski in goal for the Lightning. The officials for tonight's game, our referee is Rob Schick. The linesmen Ron Finn and Dan Shakti. I know Murray Barron hasn't played in such a long time, Ken. I think I might have forgotten his name.
Well, he's found his way to the bench. He's ready to go. So are the two teams. Rob Schick will drop the puck between Ron Sutter and Adam Creighton. Ron Sutter with Mackey on the left, Hull on the right, Quintal and Norwood on defense. And we're underway. Taglianetti back in his own end with a puck. Plays it to Bob Beers right in front of the goal. Now to the corner. Mackey intercepts, moves in a shot, and it's blocked by Taglianetti. Mackey along the near boards. Leaves the puck. Creighton beats Hull to it. Up to Kontos. He shoots it across the ice out in the neutral zone. And Quintal takes over. Feeds it back in his own end deep. Looking for Norwood. Couldn't find him. Back by the goal. Joseph sweeps the puck up off the boards. Hull leaves it for Ron Sutter. He gets high sticked a bit. There'll be a penalty. A penalty will be called. A high sticking penalty against Chris Kontos. It comes here just 32 seconds into the opening period, and the Blues will get an early power play.
Oh, it was a good job on the right boards by Brett Hull, trying to get the puck out. Taglianetti had stepped in. That means Kontos had to come over and try to get Ron Sutter. He got his stick up, I think with a little bit of help from Sutter on the play. So he'll go off for high sticking, and the Blues will get their first power play. And Ken, I like the way that Bob Berry started this game again, just as he did the other night with Ron Sutter up front, David Mackey, a couple of guys that work hard. They got the puck in right away and put some early pressure on Tampa Bay.
The Blues with the man advantage. They're 5th in the league on the power play, successful 23% of the time. Tampa Bay, 23rd in the league, killing penalties, successful 75% of the time. The Blues with the man advantage. Janney loses the puck along the far boards, and it is cleared the length of the ice. Joe Reekie sending it down the ice. Reekie on defense with Bergevin. Anderson up front with Steve Kasper, who has joined the Lightning since they played the Blues last. From center ice, Emerson attempting to shoot it in. The puck deflects off Bergevin and into the crowd, and we'll have a face-off out in the neutral zone.
I asked Nelson Emerson this morning what he thought of wearing that face mask that he wore in Toronto his first game back after the eye injury, and then he took it off for the game against Ottawa, and he said he really had a difficult time seeing because he tends to skate hunched over a little bit, and he just couldn't see out through that thing. He says it's really something he'd like to start wearing because of some of the eye problems that players have had in the league, but it's just too difficult to get used to right now.
Neutral face-off. Emerson and Norwood are on the points with Brown out. Janney up front with Shanahan and Hull. Emerson overskates the puck in his own end. John Tucker, a shot blocked by Norwood. And Tucker causing havoc deep in the Blues zone. Works behind the net, centers to the blue line. Reekie waits, moves into the slot, takes a shot. It hits Janney in the leg. And play is stopped. Well behind the action. And there's going to be a hooking penalty call. And it'll be against the Blues, Brendan Shanahan. Boy, that really hurts. Penalty in your own end while you have a power play.
And already, Ken, we're starting to see the effects of Jeff Brown not being in this game tonight. Lee Norwood is going to see a lot of time on the power play. And right there, the Blues had good control in their own end. And Lee Norwood kind of gave a bad pass over to Emerson off his skate, and that allowed Tampa Bay to get a couple of chances shorthanded.
Both teams here for a minute 11 are shorthanded, so it's 4 aside. And we're ready for the face-off. Relatively deep in the Blues zone. Brian Bradley for Tampa Bay against the Blues. Ron Sutter. Sutter with Lowry, Hedekin and Zombo in front of Curtis Joseph. The puck kick to Hedekin, the rookie defenseman. Works towards the area behind his net. Turns away from Bradley, up to Lowry. Gets it back, gives it to Lowry again, near side. Lowry cuts to the middle, gets in over the line. A couple of good moves by Lowry. Now to the right point, Zombo. Near point to Hedekin. He'll shoot right on. Jablonski the save. Taglianetti under pressure from Lowry. Almost puts the puck in his own net. Lowry bouncing around off the boards, doing some great forechecking. Now the referee, Rob Schick, will stop play. Taglianetti and Lowry really battling each other, and I believe we're going to get a penalty here.
Great work by Dave Lowry. You know, Terry Chris was mentioning as of late he doesn't like the way his defensemen have been playing in front of his own net. After the long shot by Hedekin, Taglianetti ended up with good control of the puck in front, but Dave Lowry goes right after him in front of the net as Taglianetti handles it, and he almost puts it into his own net after some good work by Lowry. Lowry in front after Taglianetti had control, and Lowry just hit his stick with his own stick, and Jablonski had to come up with the save, and then it turns out Lowry goes into the penalty box.
Yeah, as play continued there along the boards, and it continued for quite a while, Lowry got a 2-minute holding penalty, so the Blues are shorthanded. Wilson, the lone forward. Norwood on defense with Butcher. Up the middle of the ice, Beers to Bradley. Now to Crossman. Tucker's the other Lightning player. Butcher intercepts a pass aimed at Crossman and clears the puck back into the Tampa Bay zone. Tampa with the man advantage. They have a fairly decent power play. They're 12th in the NHL with a man advantage. They dump the puck in. Joseph behind the net, plays it away from Bradley, up the far boards to Butcher, and he clears it down the ice. Now Wilson is replaced by Miller. Tucker is replaced by Zomner. Crossman knocked down below us along the near boards by Miller. Kontos is out of the penalty box. A two-man advantage for 45 seconds for Tampa Bay. Crossman to Bradley up the far left wing into the blue zone. Checked on a nice play by Miller. The puck springs loose and Butcher clears it the length of the ice. Wilson back replacing Miller. Wilson, Butcher, and Norwood trying to stave off three Lightning players. Bradley over the line to Zomner. The puck along the near boards. Creighton into the corner check to Bradley behind the net. In front, and it goes betwixt and between all the Lightning players all the way back into the Tampa Bay end. Still 13 seconds to go in the two-man advantage for Tampa Bay. Up the middle of the ice, Bob Beers. He works into the blue zone. Stops along the near boards, sends the puck behind the net. Zombo gets there, shoots it hard around the boards, and it comes to center ice, brought back in offside by the rookie defenseman, Roman Hammerlich.
Ken, what the Blues were doing, killing this penalty, is that they were forcing the Tampa Bay players to go to the boards with the puck. When you're 4-on-3 or 5-on-3, you want to carry the puck up the middle of the ice so you can make a play either way. But the Blues were forcing them to the boards. Then they only had one way to go with the puck. That was to the center of the ice. So the Blues did an excellent job holding Tampa Bay without any shots on that 4-on-3 and part on the 5-on-3.
So the Blues' first penalty to Shanahan is over. Lowry's still in there for another 23 seconds, and the puck deep in the Tampa Bay end. 18-year-old Roman Hammerlich. He wears number 44. He's a great hope for the future here in Tampa Bay. To the red line. He shoots the puck in. It circles behind the net. Hartman after it. He gets hit by Quintal. Then Creighton gives it back to Hartman. Back to Creighton in the near corner. Over to the left point. Hammerlich. Screen shot right on the save. Rebound. Oh, and Kontos stopped. Hammerlich at the left point. Lowry back on. The Blues at full strength. Puck knocked into the corner. Here's Adam Creighton. Creighton tied up along the boards by Rich Sutter. Gets loose, loses the puck, and Lowry starts out. Lowry over the line to Rich Sutter, but his return pass puts the Blues offside. There's no score in Tampa. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Well, it's been a good start for the Blues here early in the first period as they had to kill off a couple of minor penalties. Terry Chris, one of the big problems with this team, scoring goals. He's asking for some of his other players besides Brian Bradley and Chris Kontos to start contributing offensively for him.
Neutral face-off. Crossman with a puck. He's on defense with Rieke. Gets it ahead. DeMaio works in. Looks in front for Casper, and his pass fails to reach him. Then Wilson bumps DeMaio in the corner, deep in the Blues' end. And Casper taken out behind the goal by Barron. Now Casper looks in front, tries to get in front, bumped by Barron, centers, the puck knocked away from Zomner, and the Blues clear it out. The Blues have Wilson, Korolev, and Hull on this forward line. Rieke back in his own end, leaves the puck for the veteran Doug Crossman. His pass ends up at center ice on Hedekin's stick, and he shoots the puck in. Jablonski leaves the puck behind the net, and Crossman has it. Doug Crossman up to Rieke. Now to Rob Zomner over the line. Knocked to the boards by Hedekin. Zombo back as Tampa Bay is changing. Then a Blues pass will go the length of the ice. And it's touched by Bob Beers. And an icing call against the Lightning. 5 minutes and 4 seconds into a scoreless first period. Tampa Bay has had a two-man advantage already in this game. And the Blues have still held the Lightning, Joe, to only one shot on goal.
And Bob Berry wants his team to stay focused. There was a long day of travel yesterday coming all the way from Ottawa, and the Blues got in here about 2:30, came over to practice at 3:30 for about half an hour. Bob Berry wanted to get them loosened up, and the focus in the morning meeting was keep winning divisional games and keep winning games on the road.
Blues have won 5 out of 6. They win the face-off in their own end. Zombo under big pressure from Michael Anderson. Can't get the puck out. A shot. And that one goes wide off the youngster's stick, Shane Stevenson. Back for the puck, Hedekin. He loses it to Stevenson. He pokes it behind the net, and Zombo takes over. Maltis checks him, and the pass gets by Janney and goes the length of the ice. And another icing call against the Blues, and anytime your defensemen are getting rushed a lot, getting forechecked a lot, it'll cause trouble, and there Maltis, Anderson, and Stevenson causing some havoc, especially for Rick Zombo.
Yeah, what's going to happen here is the Blues forwards are going to have to get in the way of some of those forechecking players, the forwards of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now that's one thing that that Terry Crisp hasn't complained about this year. His team works extremely hard. Every game they come out, they play hard. And even on that road trip, they went 1-8 on the road trip. But a lot of the people around here said they were in most of those games, with the exception of 2, 7-0 in Vancouver and 5-0 in Minnesota.
Stevenson does not get the draw for Tampa Bay. Ron Sutter does. He is on with Bozon and Brother Rich. Blues clear the puck out. Once again, it'll go the length of the ice, but Rich Sutter there, and he beats Taglianetti to the puck. No icing. Loose puck behind the Lightning net. Ron Sutter has it. Pass in front for Norwood, tipped away. Norwood caught up ice a bit. Anderson a pass, right wing for Maltis to Stevenson, and Ron Sutter comes back to knock him down. The puck centered. And Rich Sutter takes over, breaks out of his own end. Ahead to Bozon. He shoots the puck in, and it's knocked down by Taglianetti, and he'll backhand it to center ice. Here's Norwood at the St. Louis line. Now the Lightning changing. Up to Ron Sutter, ahead for Bozon. He moves in, shoots the puck into the corner, goes after it. Taglianetti gets there, and here's Michael Anderson. He's headed for the bench, leaves the puck for Brian Bradley. He moves in, but the play is offside as Basil McRae was in ahead of Bradley, the Lightning All-Star representative.
And very well deserved. He's really come up with a heck of a season for these guys. He's not that big. He's only 5'10" and about 180 pounds. But he's got a lot of guts. He's got a lot of character. He's willing to stick his nose in there. And like I said, here's a team with 32 points this year in the league, and he's a plus player. With all the ice time he gets, he's still a +2 going into this game tonight.
Yeah, the interesting thing is Brian Bradley, of course, with Toronto last year, had 31 points. He has 32 goals already this season. Puck in the blue zone. Hull will get it. Here he comes. On with Miller and Lowry in the middle of the rink. Hull over the Tampa Bay line, moves in all alone, fakes, waits, shoots, and he misses the mark. Jablonski sliding across the crease, and Hull first had trouble with the puck and then didn't have much to shoot at. Long shot by McRae, tipped away by Joseph. Hull deep in his own end with a puck, drives it around the boards, but right onto the stick of Mark Bergevin, right point, screen shot, and it's tipped just wide. Barron behind the goal, loses the puck. And it comes out to the point. Bergevin a shot, and that's kicked out by Joseph. What a play there by Joseph. Blues to center ice. Hull over the line to Miller. A beat in front for Lowry. Tipped away by Bergevin. And he'll clear the puck to center ice. It hits the Blues player Zombo in the face. He gets up slowly, and the Lightning dump the puck in. Both teams are changing. There's no score here in the first period. Hennigan barrels up the near wing, backhands the puck in, and it's played by Joe Reiki. Nice outlet pass. Kontos ahead to Creighton, one man back, and he takes a shot from the right wing, and Joseph gets his arm on it. The puck in the blue zone, sent by Hennigan up to Emerson. Now to Janney working in, trailed by Shanahan. Janney centers for Emerson. The puck kicked wide of the goal by Creighton. Shanahan unable to center, and Big Adam Creighton has the puck deep in his own territory. Sends it in the air. It'll drop down in center ice and slide back to Norwood in the Blues end. He feeds to an open left wing. Crossman intercepts, carries over the line. His pass for Creighton, broken up by Janney. Quick outlet feed to Emerson. One-on-one over the line. A shot, and he grazes it off the goalpost. It comes high in the air, drops in front of the net. Kontos can't clear. And finally, Kontos gets a pass at center ice from Hartman. He's got a player going to the net, and Kontos taken out. Hartman goes in front of the net, and Kontos can't center, and the Blues break out. Here is Janney. Janney over the line, a drop pass for Shanahan. Good chance. Fakes around Hartman, comes in front, shoots and scores. Great backhand move by Shanahan. Oh, what a play. And Shanahan scores to give the Blues a 1-0 lead, and for Shanahan, his 23rd goal of the season.
Boy, I don't know if you're going to see a better individual effort than that. You talk about keeping your head up and looking what you're doing with the puck. Janney with the puck, he'll end up giving it to Shanahan, and Shanahan will just walk in past everybody. There's a couple of players back for Tampa, fakes a shot, gets the players to go down. Even Jablonski thinks he's going to shoot, and then he pulls it back to his backhand and puts it into the empty net. What an individual effort by Shanahan. Boy, he just came right back in that long reach. He's got good size and puts it past Jablonski for a 1-0 Blues lead.
8:33, the time of Shanahan's 23rd goal, and of course Janney gets his 49th assist, 49 assists in 46 games. And the Lightning now to center ice. Casper shoots the puck to the Blues line. Korolev sends it back to Bergevin out at center ice. He'll wind up, shoot it into the corner off the glass, and Barron takes over behind his net. He's checked by DeMaio, feeds right wing for Korolev. He cuts to the middle of the ice, over the red line, into the Tampa Bay zone to Mackey on the left wing. Long shot, pad save, rebound in front, and Rob Zomner takes over and moves to center ice for the Lightning. He moves right around Korolev, far circle, takes a bad angle shot, kicked out by Joseph. Barron with a puck. Up the middle to Korolev. And he feeds ahead for Mackey, but he's tied up, and the veteran Steve Casper back in his own zone. Casper works the puck to Maltis. He's stopped, and Hedeken shoots it in. Steve Casper back for the puck. The Blues are changing. Casper stops behind his net, and he leaves the puck right there, and it's played by Bergevin. Into the corner to Hammerlick. Now up to Casper. Left wing for McRae, and his shot is right on. Or Maltis, rather, and a good save by Joseph. Maltis on here with Anderson now and Stevenson. And the puck deep in the Blues zone. Ron Sutter moves it up the boards to Bozon, and he'll clear it to center ice. Ricci tries to shoot it back in. It's tipped into the Tampa Bay end, and Ricci feeds far boards. Now gets the puck back. After Stevenson couldn't handle it, it is a delayed offside here against the Blues. Ricci near wing to Crossman at center ice for Anderson over the line, trailed by Maltis, leaves the puck for Maltis. He fires it in. Quintal behind the net, runs into Stevenson and falls down. And the Blues will start out. Bozon weaving to center ice. He's in the center circle and shoots the puck in and heads for the bench. Jablonski on a shot that would have gone wide, grabs it and leaves it for Doug Crossman. One of the veterans on this team at age 32. Now Tampa Bay can't work in. Miller ahead to Hull over the line. Quick wrist shot just wide from the slot. Miller along the near boards in the corner to Brett Hull. In front for Miller. He can't get a shot. Bouncing puck. Lowry tries to get a shot. He's knocked down. Then Crossman behind the net fires up the far boards. Here's McRae now. McRae with Bradley and Tucker over the line. Drop pass to Tucker. He'll shoot right on. And Joseph makes the save, and play is stopped. It is 1-0. The Blues lead the Tampa Bay Lightning. The goal at 8:33. Shanahan from Janney and Lowry. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Okay. The Blues leading this game 1-0 on the goal by Shanahan. And that goal, we talked about Tampa Bay coming out forechecking aggressively. On the goal, they got caught with 3 men in deep, and the Blues came back 3-on-2.
The face-off to Curtis Joseph's left. It is Ron Wilson against Brian Bradley, on with Anderson and Maltis. Back to the right point. Bergevin cannot contain the puck. He'll finally from center ice backhand it in, and here's Murray Barron. Out at center ice, Hammerlick and Hull collided. They went end over end, and now Hammerlick gets a loose puck and fires it in. Barron has Anderson all over him. Has trouble along the boards. Maltis sends it into the corner. Here's Anderson. Bumped by Barron, and that allows Butcher to get the puck. He tries to get it out and does off Bergevin. He shoots it back in, and Barron will take possession of the puck behind his net. He's on with Butcher. He gives Butcher the puck. Up to Hull. Now to Wilson. He's bumped a bit by Anderson. A scramble for the puck at center ice. It comes to Bradley. One man back. Barron. Bradley a shot, and that goes off Joseph wide. Bradley with the puck again. He comes out near the blue line, sends it in front. It's tipped just wide by Chris Kontos. Bradley with the puck again. Along the near boards, right point to Mark Bergevin. A shot hits Barron in the skate, and Hull breaks out. Brett Hull with Mackey trailing over the line. Hull, bad angle, a shot off Bergevin's stick over the glass and into the crowd. The Blues lead it 1-0 on Brendan Shanahan's 23rd goal of the season. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Now the Blues have outshot the Tampa Bay Lightning 9-4 in this first period. And they also had another shot by Nelson Emerson that went off the post.
Ken Wilson along with Joe Micheletti and Bruce Affleck. We are in Florida, where everybody wants to be in January. From the face-off, a shot by Zombo hits a leg. Mike Hartman up the ice with Beers and Creighton. 3 Blues back, and a pass is tipped away by Zombo. He made a nice defensive play. Now Janney deep in his own end with a puck. Up ahead to Emerson. It's Janney, Emerson, and Shanahan. Emerson shoots the puck in, takes a mean hit from Mike Hartman. Here's Bob Beers behind his net into the corner, gets away from Shanahan. Then Emerson stops him to Shanahan. Bad angle, and his shot stopped by Jablonski. The puck behind the net, and Adam Creighton comes in to take it. And he takes a hit from Shanahan. The pass goes through center ice. There'll be no icing. The puck deep in the Blues' end. Zombo has it quickly up to Emerson. Now at the red line to Janney. Janney trailed by Shanahan, who picks up the puck, blazes in. He's on his backhand, fake shoots. Oh, Jablonski gets just a piece of Shanahan's shot. Well, that was another brilliant play by Shanahan, and he was flying, and the fellow who got him the puck was none other than Janney, who was terrific in getting it to him. Now the Blues work to the Tampa Bay line. They work over the line. Ron Sutter along the near boards. A pass behind the net for Korolev. Korolev into the near corner. One hand on the stick, comes in front, turns, and a shot from the forehand goes well wide. And the Lightning clear to center ice. Norwood with a puck. He'll shoot it right back in. It comes out of the corner near the net. Riki has it. He cuts right in front of his goal, away from Korolev. Joe Riki to the blue line. Left wing for Shane Stevenson. He can't work in, tied up by Ron Sutter. And near the Blues net, here's Consol. Up the boards for Rich Sutter. He'll tip the puck into the Lightning zone, and both teams are changing. The Blues lead it 1-0. Up to Anderson at center ice. He'll whisk it in. We're now under 6 minutes to go in the first period. The Blues with a goal from Brendan Shanahan. Barron's pass gets away. Hammerlick over the line. A shot that goes wide. Barron then hands the puck to Casper. Now to Zomner. It's tipped out to center ice. Hull just misses breaking away. Zomner near the red line. A pass ahead, tipped in wide of the goal by Casper. Back to the puck is Barron. Barron off the boards, just clearing to center ice. Roman Hammerlick with it. He'll shoot the puck back in. Barron tries to shoot it out. Fans, and Butcher has to cover up around the boards for Lowry. Zomner intercepts. Here's Steve Casper. Left point to Hammerlick. Shot right on, kicked out. A good save by Joseph, and fortunately for the Blues, they get the rebound. Lowry through center ice, over the line to Hull. In the slot for Zombo, and the pass hits a leg and goes wide of the Tampa Bay net. Lowry checks to Mayo. Hammerlick in front, a bad pass. Hull scores. Oh, what a bad pass, and right in the slot, in the money spot, Brett Hull, and he one-times that baby right by Jablonski. And the Blues take the lead 2-0 on the 29th goal of the season for Brett Hull.
Boy, you could see that coming, couldn't you? I mean, that puck just sliding out. You see 16 moving in on the play, but Hammerlick was being forechecked very hard by Dave Lowry. Lowry making a good play, and Hammerlick, without a lot of time, throws it right up the middle. You can't do that, especially when Brett Hull's on the ice, and Hull just blew it by Jablonski for the lead, 2-0 lead.
Whoa. Oh. There are about 20 coaches watching this game. The hair didn't turn gray, it fell out. Tampa Bay shoots the puck into the Blues zone. Intercepting is Bradley. Into the corner. McRae trying to center. He works behind the net. Tucker is the other forward for Tampa Bay. The puck gets away. Hedican has it. Up to Shanahan. He tips it out. And it's center ice. It's played by Taglianetti. Back with the puck in his own end. Hedican. He clears to the neutral zone. And Beers has it. Over to Taglianetti. He bounces it in. Dangerous shot. Scooped up and held by Joseph. And play is stopped with 4:24 remaining in the first period. And the Blues with a 2-0 lead on goals by Shanahan and Hull. Shanahan at 8:33. Hull scoring at 14:56.
How'd you like to be Pat Jablonski on that play, where he's going into this game thinking, concentrating how difficult it is to stop Brett Hull and that hard shot he's got, and your defenseman has good control of the puck, going around the net with it, thinking the puck's going to go along the boards, and he dishes it right up to Brett Hull, 20 feet in front of the net. Jablonski's got to scramble back and try and stop a shot like that.
That's not a way to build friendships between goalies and defensemen. Here's Norwood behind his net. A long pass up the near side for Rich Sutter, too far, and Riki goes back for the puck. The two Sutters and Bozon, who have been fabulous lately, are on the ice. They intercept. Ron Sutter moves right into Brother Rich, and he shoots it wide. Far boards. Basil McRae loses the puck as Bozon does good work, and Ron Sutter sends it behind the net to Riki. And Rich Sutter and Bozon are both there. Bozon in front to Ron Sutter. A shot off Crossman's stick over the net. Boy, this line is outworking Tampa Bay. And believe me, Tampa Bay works hard, even down 2-0. Puck still in the Tampa Bay zone. Bozon behind the net. In front. Out of the reach of both Sutters. Tucker leaves the puck for Bradley to the checkered red line. Bradley through the neutral zone. Over the line to John Tucker. Pass in front behind McRae. Moving in is Beers. He can't get a shot away. Tied up by Bozon. Then Hull takes a pass from Kontos. Now Kontos stopped. McRae knocked down by Ron Sutter. Blues shoot it in. McRae gets up just to make sure he knew who knocked him down. And caught the number 22. Blues up 2-0. 3:12 to go, first period. Here at Expo Hall in Tampa, Florida. Puck to center ice. Mike Hartman backhands it in. Barron back. Chased by Kontos. Loses the puck, and Wilson there to cover up. Up the near boards to Mackey. He'll just clear it out and take a check from Hartman. Beers at center ice to Creighton. He'll shoot it back in. Tampa Bay all night will dump the puck in and chase and put pressure on you. Here's a pass from Butcher. That's deflected into the crowd by Mike Hartman. So play stop, 2:48 left, first period, 2-0, St. Louis. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. Blues hockey is brought to you by Circuit City. Circuit City, where service is state of the art. The Blues have a 2-0 lead. The face-off, top of the circle to Joseph's right. Two wingers oftentimes go after it. Tampa Bay, Anderson wins it. Beers right point, a shot, stopped. Maltis trying to center from the corner. Puck knocked away, and Zombo starts out. Ahead for Miller. Miller into the Tampa Bay zone. Lowry goes to the net. Miller, good work in the corner, centers, and Hull takes a shot that goes wide. Here's Shane Stevenson up to Michael Anderson. Maltis goes to the net. Near boards Anderson. Right point to Beers. He has trouble with the puck. Zombo ends up with it. Ahead to Miller. Miller and Lowry over the line. Miller out near the blue line. Sends the puck into the slot. Stevenson moves it ahead to Maltis. Back for Anderson along the near side, and he'll backhand it into the blue zone. And both clubs are changing here. 2-0 Blues. Kontos up to Janney. Right wing feed for Emerson. Broken up. DeMaio ahead to Casper. To Zomner. Good chance. Sliding save by Janney on Rob Zomner. And Kontos bumps Casper accidentally, and Casper is all over the top of Joseph, who is down on the ice with the puck smothered. And a minute 49 remaining with the Blues up 2-0 here in the first period.
That was a great play by Brendan Shanahan. It's a 2-on-1 for Tampa. Now Shanahan is the first Blues forward coming back, and as the puck comes through, Shanahan just slashes the stick of Zamner on the play, and then so he partially fanned on the shot. Shanahan coming all the way back, just gave him a two-handed slash right on the stick, and that disrupted the shot by Zamner and actually came in softly, and Curtis Joseph was able to cover up. Great hustle, great work back checking by Brendan Shanahan.
Ron Sutter against Casper, the face-off. Puck back to the left point. Ricci a shot right on, and Joseph stops that. And Blues fans, why not get into this game tonight here in Florida with an ice-cold Busch beer? Its delivery is smooth, and its record for refreshment spotless. When the beer is Busch, you just can't lose.
Terry Chris said this morning that he told his players in getting ready for this game to just simply get ready to strap on the boots, as he called it, for tonight's game, because he's been watching a lot of this Blues team as of late, and he knows how hard they've been working.
Face off in the Blues zone. Kontos up the far wing to Bozon. He slaps the puck out. Then Rich Sutter trying to steal from Ricci. The puck goes in deep. They bump. Rich Sutter behind the net. Bergevin gets in his way. Bergevin knocked down, trying to cover the puck, and he does with his glove. And the referee, Rob Schick, stops play, and we're down to a minute 27 to go in the period. The Tampa Bay Lightning, so they say, with 15 shots on goal, and the Blues have a half dozen.
Well, you mentioned this a little bit earlier, Ken, about the line with Philippe Bozon on it, and the two Sutter brothers. Boy, again here tonight, they have really been terrific. You talk about guys hustling, jumping in on the loose puck, putting a lot of pressure on forechecking. And the other thing they're doing by doing that is they're getting some good scoring chances. They're always looking around. They're finally getting to the point where they've played on the same line together long enough to have an understanding of where the other teammates are going to be on the ice.
And the Blues have had their lines pretty much set for quite a while now. And why change when you're going well? But I think the consistency helps the players a lot. Right point, Kontos shooting the puck around behind the net. Emerson is second to the puck behind Taglianetti. Then he's tied up. Janney has it now in the corner. Janney behind the net. He's knocked down by Taglianetti. Then Shanahan comes in with Casper, and the puck is held and play stopped in the faceoff because the puck is under Janney. Will come out to center ice. You know, Janney that time was in a position where it looked like he was going to make one of his brilliant moves, but too much Taglianetti.
Taglianetti taking the man all the way, and that play actually started way over on the other side of the ice with Janney stealing the puck off of Taglianetti and then going around the net to make the play. But there's Brendan Shanahan right there. Anytime Janney gets taken down with any type of authority at all, Shanahan is right in there helping out. Boy, he's been terrific tonight, hasn't he? We talked Janney with the passes, but Shanahan with some of the moves. The goal he scored right after that was some great individual play. That line has really been something here.
And the Blues lead it 2-0. Talking about the fact the Blues lines have been consistent in terms of makeup. Some of the Tampa Bay players telling me that a lot of the players are frustrated because Terry Crisp changes the lineup so much, changes lines. Nobody gets a chance to play together very much, and it becomes hard on them. Here are the Blues. Hull again, a shot. Great glove save by Jablonski. Hull from the top of the far right circle.
And again, the Blues coming down and getting a good scoring chance. In this period, most times the Blues have been able to get the puck in the neutral zone. They've been able to carry the puck over the blue line of Tampa Bay. And again, Ron Wilson sets up Brett Hull right from the top of the circle. Boy, he let go a blistering shot. But Pat Jablonski, who was an outstanding athlete with great reflexes, was able to get that right catching glove on that shot by Brett Hull and smartly held on for a whistle. Great save.
The face-off now will be to Jablonski's left. Hull is on with Ron Wilson and Dave Mackey. Kontos is at the right point. Norwood at the left point. 50.1 seconds remaining. First period. A sellout crowd here at Expo Hall in Tampa. From the face-off, the puck along the boards. Mackey and Casper, Wilson and Bergevin. Mackey gets loose. Mackey in front for Norwood. Quick shot. He scores from the near circle. Lee Norwood set up by Dave Mackey. And the Blues take the lead 3-0 here in the first period.
Three great things happened on that play. First, the Blues on the face-off worked hard to get the loose puck. They kept on working. Mackey ends up with the loose puck after the face-off that Ron Wilson took, and Mackey, using a lot of strength, ends up staying with the puck, and then he'll end up picking up the loose puck and start going behind the net. But he has his head up looking for someone. That's the second great play, and Norwood, realizing he's got an opportunity on offense, goes right in from the left point and gives Mackey a perfect position to make that pass, and Norwood, no mistake at all, makes it 3-0.
Number three on the year for Norwood, and the Blues lead 3-0. Mackey and Hull get the assists. The goal with under a minute to go in the first period. Puck at center ice. 21 seconds to go. Now the Blues take over. Barron shoots the puck in wide of the net. 19:20, the time of the goal. Quick shot from the corner by Rich Sutter, and that's caught by Jablonski.
I think I mentioned earlier in the period that the Blues had been out shooting Tampa Bay 9-4. I guess I was basing that on the fact that the Blues, to me, were dominating the period. But the way it shows on the scoreboard right now, folks, is that Tampa Bay shows 15 shots on goal to the Blues 9, which I find somewhat disturbing because it's been a period that's been dominated by the Blues. The Blues had to kill off a couple of penalties earlier in the period and did an outstanding job and only allowed one shot on goal during that 4-on-3 and then the 5-on-3 manpower advantage. And they've dominated this period, yet the scoreboard shows them being outshot by 6.
Face-off won by Tampa Bay. Now they've changed the assist. Mackey and Wilson get the assist on the goal by Norwood. The puck goes the length of the ice. Butcher back to touch it. And with 2 seconds to go in the first period, the Blues have a 3-0 lead.
An outstanding period for the Blues here as they've really poured it on. I don't think I've seen them forecheck like this, Ken, as a group, 3 or 4 lines continually. in quite a few games. We've seen certain lines. You mentioned the Sutter brothers along with Bozon do an outstanding job. But tonight, everyone is doing that. They're making plays inside the blue line. And then when they do lose the puck, they're able to jump on the loose puck and create more scoring chances.
Now the circle near Jablonski. Janney against Casper. Hull is right behind Janney. They drop the puck, kick it around a bit, and that'll do it. That is the end of the period, and a tremendous period for the Blues. Remember, these two teams met early in the season 3 times, and Tampa Bay won the first 2 meetings before the Blues got a victory, and the Blues are determined under Bob Berry to get another win over the Lightning here tonight. Shanahan, Hull, and Norwood all score in the first period, and after 1, the Blues leading the Tampa Bay Lightning by a score of 3-0. Coming up in our first intermission, the star of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Brian Bradley, will guest with Bruce Affleck. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. The two teams back on the ice, and we welcome you back to Expo Hall in Tampa, Florida, where the Blues lead the Lightning 3-0, getting ready for the second period. The Blues are home for their next game Tuesday night against Toronto. That'll be Bugles Kazoo night. Everyone in attendance will receive a Bugles Kazoo. Then the Blues will face the Red Wings on the 23rd. That is a week from tonight. On Tuesday the 26th, Ottawa will be at the arena for the first time, and another Saturday night game, January 30th, against New Jersey, and that'll be street hockey stick night. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch providing hockey sticks, street hockey sticks, for the first 3,000 youngsters 12 and under. 291-7600, the dial tix number. Tickets available, of course, daily at the arena box office and all of the usual Blues ticket outlets.
And as we get ready to start this second period, I'm sure Coach Bob Berry mentioned to his team in the dressing room before coming out, let's not let up at all. Go out there, keep working hard, keep the shifts short. It's humid here in this building in Florida, 75 degrees here today, much colder obviously up in Ottawa, so that should probably take its toll on the Blues players as the game goes along. So I'm sure Bob wants his players short shifts, stay on the puck, and keep putting the pressure on.
Underway, and the Lightning to center ice. Taglianetti, a pass for Kontos. Now to Hartman over the line. He'll dump it into the corner. Norwood there ahead of Creighton. Takes quite a hit. The puck ends up behind the net. Norwood takes out Creighton. Now loose in the far corner, and here is Kontos. He's tied up. Norwood overskates the puck, sweeps it around near side for Hull, and he is hit by Hartman, who forgets that Hull obviously is one of the great stars of the game. And Tampa Bay takes over at their own line. Taglianetti, a pass ahead. The puck is tipped in deep. Norwood with it in his own end, flips it to center ice. Janney gloves it down, feeds ahead to Hull. He'll shoot it in, and the Blues are changing. Here's Bob Beers back for the puck near his own net, up on the right wing. Now to center ice to Hartman. After the feed from Kontos, he'll shoot the puck in, and Terry Crisp's team is changing players. Here's Hedican ahead for Emerson, intercepted by Bradley. His pass hits Janney, and it's Bergevin in his own end. To the Tampa Bay blue line to Bradley. One nice move. He can't get around Hedican, however. And a loose puck controlled by Janney. His pass intercepted by Hammerlick to McRae and on to Bradley, and he'll shoot it into the corner. Comes to the side of the net. Hedican back to take the puck. Sweeps it up near side. Hammerlick and Emerson battle. The puck kept in for a moment. Shot out by Shanahan over the center red line offside to Craig Janney, and play stopped a minute and 25 seconds into the second period with the Blues up 3-0.
And Curtis Joseph again tonight, very sharp. In the game against Ottawa the other night, he had to make a lot of saves on tips and deflections, that type of thing. And Bob Berry, in looking at this game tonight, comparing it to the game against Ottawa, he told his players this morning, we've got to make sure that we give Curtis more help tonight, especially in this game, because the thing that won the game the other night was simply our talent, and Tampa Bay is much more talented than Ottawa.
Now the puck in the Blues zone, right point. Crossman, a shot and a fine pad save by Joseph. Zomner with the puck. He bumps with Butcher in the corner to Joseph's right, and Casper trying to work behind the net. Lowry gets in the way, and Barron feeds up for Miller too far. Crossman able to keep it in. Barron finally shoots it out, and the puck back in the Tampa Bay zone. Joe Ricci has it. He's on defense with Crossman. Zomner is up front with Casper and DeMaio. The Blues countering with Miller, Lowry, and Hull. Barron and Butcher to center ice. Over the line, And Butcher takes down Zomner, and there'll be a penalty. To the bench goes goalie Jablonski. Crossman feeds ahead to DeMaio. Rob DeMaio at center ice, over the line to Riki. He'll flip the puck in front of the goal, and as it's touched by Barron, the penalty will be called against the Blues, and I believe it'll be Garth Butcher. The Blues have a 3-0 lead here in the second period.
Well, as the defenseman, you learn to play the one-on-one and try and get your stick through the legs of the opposing player. That time, Butcher did do that, but he had two hands on his stick. And Zomner tried to move away from him, and so he flipped up and went down. So Butcher goes off, and the Blues are going to have to do some work here, killing a penalty.
Well, at Maple Leaf Gardens, first period, Chicago leading the Maple Leafs 2-0. The Blues, of course, coming in 5 points behind fourth place Toronto, 10 points ahead of sixth place Tampa Bay. A 2-minute tripping penalty here at 2:15 of the second period to Butcher. Blues win the draw on their own end. Norwood behind the net, clears up the far boards to center ice. Here's Crossman. Toronto with the man advantage. They can't work in, and Ron Sutter shoots the puck into the Lightning zone. Tampa Bay 0 for 2 on the power play in the first period. They had a two-man advantage, remember, at one time, and they're foiled again here, and the Blues dump it in. The Blues killing the penalty with Norwood and Cantal, Wilson and Miller. Here's Crossman getting the puck ahead to Bradley at his own line. Now it's center ice. Over the line, Beers shooting it into the near corner. Bradley along the near boards. Left point to Crossman. Right point, Bob Beers. He'll take a wrist shot that deflects wide. Bradley along the near side. Out to the near point to Crossman. Far right point to Beers. Back to Crossman. Near side to Bradley. Back to Crossman. A shot. It goes off Miller. And it behind the net. Basil McRae. Right point to Beers. His shot knocked down by Norwood, and Wilson ahead to Miller, and he'll clear it down the ice. No disrespect to Basil McRae, but I never thought I'd see the day, Joe, where he was on a power play.
Well, what Terry Chris was trying to do is just put him in front of the net and cause some trouble, and they're trying to take the long shot from the point, but it doesn't seem to be working.
Now the Lightning set up. Beers from the point. A shot hits a man. Crossman a drive. The save. Loose puck. They score. Chris Kontos on a rebound with a wide open net. And a power play goal for the Lightning.
I guess that was the kiss of death, because it did end up working for Tampa Bay, moving the puck around. McRae standing right in front. The long shot will come from the point by Beers. It'll deflect off into the corner, and then Crossman will get one chance, and way from the other side comes Kontos through the crease. And that puck just ended up right in the crease with a wide open net, and Chris Kontos ends up putting it into the empty net. But McRae's in front. He's trying to get things jammed up in front. Joseph made one good save, and there's nothing he could do at all on the rebound.
Number 23 for Kontos, 3:43 the time of the power play goal. And for Kontos, that's his 10th power play goal this season. He has not had many goals in the recent action.
No, in fact, he had 19 goals in the first 21 games and only 3 before tonight in the last 24.
Now Tampa Bay fired up, as is this crowd. The puck goes into the Blues zone. Emerson knocked down. And Zombo does a little shoving. DeMaio knocked Emerson down. Casper trying to work in front, slowed up. Shanahan breaks out to Emerson up the right wing. Great drop pass. Shanahan, then he's checked. He wanted to pass to Janney. Taglianetti up to Zomner. Over the line to Mayo, but he's poke checked at that point, and the puck at center ice flipped in by Taglianetti. Etiken back for it. This will be an icing call against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Blues in the second period lead the Lightning 3-1. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Well, the Blues had another good opportunity to score. A 3-on-2 break. Emerson down the right boards. He drops it to Shanahan. But Steve Casper, hurrying back, makes a great defensive play on Shanahan from the other side. Great hustle by Casper to break up the 3-on-2.
Now the face-off to Jablonski's left, one by the Blues. Back to Hull, and as he's ready to shoot, Casper steals the puck. Through center ice, bothered by Butcher over the line, but the play goes behind the net. Butcher doing a good job slowing up Casper. Creighton gets in the way of Barron. Lowry works out to Miller, now to Butcher with Hull. The pass to Hull, top of the far circle, a drive and a pad save by Jablonski. Butcher was taken down, and there'll be a cross-checking penalty called against Tampa Bay, and Garth Butcher very slow in getting up.
Well, he's had some bumps and bruises the last week and a half or so, and he's been playing in a lot of pain, a lot of those aches and pains, and we've seen him, especially as of late, get involved a lot physically, take a lot of punishment, playing a lot of minutes, and he's moving up on the play trying to get involved. I'd like to see Brett Hull, when he gets the puck, just think shoot all the way. Butcher with the good play coming up to the blue line, just feeds Hull on the left side, and Hull from the top of the circle just blisters one. Jablonski makes a save, and Butcher had done the right thing after passing it, going right to the front of the net before being cross-checked after the save by Pat Jablonski.
We mentioned earlier Jeff Brown with a sore foot could not play tonight. Kurt Giles, Vitaly Karamnov are not dressed. Kelly Chase, Vitaly Prokhorov, Bob Basson also out injured. Terry Crisp not dressing Rob Ramage, Sean Chambers, Danton Cole, Mark Bureau, and his third goalie, Wendell Young.
And I think we should look to see the Blues shoot the puck from the point a little bit more. With Brown being out, Norwood on the point. Norwood's got a good shot from back there. And I'd like to see him start shooting it here. If he gets a good chance, take the shot, let Shanahan and Janney go to the front of the net.
4:49, the time of the cross-checking penalty to Riki. And the Lightning from the face-off get the puck and clear it the length of the ice. Their power play goal, Kontos is 23rd from Beers and Crossman at 3:43. Now the Blues work the puck in. Hull, far side. He's got Norwood at the left point, Emerson at the right point in front. Shanahan sets up Janney, but he has to work it back to Emerson. Emerson from the point, fans for the most part. Kasper gets the puck, has to go behind his goal. Clears it up far side. Norwood keeps the puck in. Into the corner to Shanahan, behind the net for Janney. Craig Janney on the power play. Pass hits a skate, and Bergevin clears the puck the length of the ice. For the Blues, this is their second power play tonight. So they are 0 for 1. Kontos getting that Tampa Bay goal. Shanahan, Hull, and Norwood have scored for the Blues. Blues set up, left point Norwood. He fakes a shot. Right point to Emerson. Near side to Janney. Shanahan's in front. Hull is in the far circle. Janney into the circle. Top of the far circle to Norwood. Now straight away to Emerson. Now on the near boards to Janney. He handles the puck into the circle. Feeds across for Norwood. He wheels, shoots. The puck tipped wide by Tucker. Janney centers. And it bounces to Zomner, and he'll shoot the puck the length of the ice with 25 seconds to go in the Blues power play. Shanahan a pass for Janney. Broken up. And the Lightning clearing the puck into the Blues zone. 15 seconds to go, and the penalty to Riki. Norwood, a pass ahead. And Ron Sutter did not expect it. And the puck shot by Beers, but it deflects off Norwood into the crowd, and only 8 seconds remaining in this Blues power play, and they lead the game 3-1.
And that was a long shift for Lee Norwood as he stayed out there nearly the entire 2 minutes, but the Blues had good control of the puck in Tampa's zone. You know, they've got to take that shot a little bit more from the point, especially Nelson Emerson, because they're starting to look for Emerson to dish off to Janney all the time, and to keep those players honest every once in a while, you've got to take that long shot even if there's someone on you, because then they'll start playing you a little tighter. That's going to leave Janney open again, more so on the side.
Somebody in the crowd here has a whistle, which I'm sure is quite distracting to a lot of the players. Zombo in his own end, up to Rich Sutter. The penalty is over. Rich Sutter shoots the puck in. Jablonski behind the net, clears it up the boards. Left point, Hedican a shot. That's knocked wide. Behind the net, Rich Sutter, and the pass out goes off Bozon. And here's Riki clearing the puck off Hedican deep into the Blues zone. The Blues with Zombo back for the puck. On with Hedican, Bozon, and the two Sutters. Pass up comes to center ice, brought in offside by Adam Creighton, and play stops. 7 minutes and 13 seconds into the second period.
Well, of course, Phil Esposito and his crew had to make a lot of decisions on the type of personnel to bring to this team, and they added some real character players and guys like Basil McCray from Minnesota, Rob Ramage they also picked up from Minnesota. So this team's got a lot of leadership, and McCray hasn't played much this year because of the fact he broke his leg earlier in the season after breaking his leg last year in the playoffs. And he has had a lot of problems breaking it for the second time. He actually wears a portable cast on that left leg while he plays.
Blues shoot the puck in right to Jablonski. He'll shoot it off the boards. Anderson tied up. Blues get a chance. Then a Rich Sutter pass intercepted, and McRae clears the puck out. Zombo back at his own line. Gets it ahead to Rich Sutter. He's knocked down by Anderson. Here's Ron Sutter at center ice. Left wing to Hedican up from the defense. Knocked down by Bergevin. Bergevin kind of pitchforking him. Hedican looks to the referee. Now the Lightning can't get out. Bozon in front. Hedican all alone. Oh, he hits the post. Hedican beat Jablonski and hit the post. And again, Hedican keeps the puck in. Puck goes behind the Tampa Bay net. Rich Sutter doesn't want to touch it because a hand pass would have been involved. And finally, Rob Schick, the referee, stops play, and we'll have a face-off. Hedican thought he had been the victim of a penalty that wasn't called, and was fortunate enough to still be around the Tampa Bay net.
And what he ended up doing, Ken, is he looked up and saw that there might be a turnover, so he stayed right in front of the net. He made a very heads-up play, had a lot of time, and beat Jablonski on the glove side. But as you mentioned, right off that near post, well, he let it go quickly. That would have been a big goal for the Blues, who are leading 3-1 right now with 12 minutes to go in this second period. But Tampa Bay, they continue to work hard, and they are very aggressive. They got the one power play goal here in this period to make it a 3-1 game, and they keep coming at you, so the Blues are going to have to keep working.
Now out at center ice, Butcher shoots the puck in. He is on with Barron, Hall, Mackey, and Wilson. And Hardman gets it out to center ice, and Hall back at his own line for it. Up to the red line to Wilson. And the Blues shoot the puck in. Reekie knocks it down at the Tampa Bay defense. Over to Crossman, up to Creighton. He'll just tip it in, and Butcher shoots it out. Now there'll be a penalty as Butcher was taken down again. Boy, he took a mean hit. And it was another cross check, and Tampa Bay will be shorthanded as the veteran tough guy Mike Hartman will go off. The Blues with a 3-1 lead over the Lightning. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
The Blues go back on the power play as Hartman goes off for Tampa Bay. Boy, he and Garth Butcher got together about 5 times that last shift, and at the end of it, Hartman gives Butcher a little bit of a shove. Butcher did a pretty good job of going down, didn't he? Excellent job. He got the call.
Hey, sometimes, Joe, you're just a little off balance. It doesn't take much. Right point, Emerson. Blues have the man advantage. They lead it 3-1. He can't work in. Casper bothers him, and the puck shot out. Norwood and Emerson, Janney, Hull, and Shanahan. Now the Blues in their own end lose the puck. Casper works in front, and moving away from the play, Anderson. Kontos has the only goal in this period. The Blues had Shanahan, Hull, and Norwood beat Jablonski in the first period. Janney to center ice, taken down by Reekie. And the puck shot into the Blues zone by John Tucker. Here's Emerson from behind the net. 1:15 to go in the power play. Up to Janney. He could hear Reekie, and he loses the puck, and Tucker shoots it in. Hartman getting the cross-checking penalty. Now Zomner takes control in the Blues zone and works the puck all the way back into the Tampa Bay end, and it's cleared the length of the ice by Reekie. 8:31 was the time of that penalty to Hartman. Tampa Bay has had 3 minors, and so have the Blues. Here's Hull through center ice, over the line of the right wing into the corner. Now behind the net, looking for someone to pass to from the far side. Stops. Ahead to Shanahan. Janney's in the slot. Back to Hull to Norwood. Now to the Blues captain, Brett Hull. Back to Norwood. A one-timer. That hits a leg in front. Janney after the puck gets it for Hull. Hull is shot blocked. Shanahan backhands the puck wide. Janney tries to center. Beers stops him. Taglianetti checks him. And Shanahan to Hull, back to Norwood, but he had kind of moved out to center ice a little bit. Now Norwood knocked down. Up to Hull to Shanahan to Janney. Over the line to Hull. Drop pass to Shanahan in a crowd. He feeds to the right point, but the Blues were changing up the ice. Mikkel Anderson trying to work in. Does take the shot, and it slides just wide. And the penalty is just about over to Hartman. He comes back on. Shanahan at center ice to Hedican. Hedican to the Tampa Bay line. Around Beers into the far corner. Centers. Oh, and Miller can't get a stick on the puck. It's back to Rich. Ron Sutter, and a shot right on. And Sutter's drive grabbed and held by Jablonski. Well, the crowd liking the good end-to-end action. And they like the effort by Michael Anderson, who almost tipped one in.
Well, he ended up coming down the ice when the Blues were changing. Hedican had just come on the ice, and it was really a 1-on-2, both Hedican and Shanahan, but neither of them really got the man and took him out of the play. And the puck just kind of squirted through everyone. Anderson just kept going and following his play. He didn't get a lot on the shot, but he got enough to make it close. And that shot didn't miss the far post by much at all.
Well, the Blues in the season series trying to draw even with Tampa Bay. Remember, mid-October, Tampa Bay won at the arena 2-1. Early November here, the Lightning beat the Blues 6-4. Then November 21st in St. Louis, the Blues whipped Tampa Bay 4-2, so they're looking to even up the season series with a win here tonight. The Blues, of course, have won 5 of 6. They've allowed only 9 goals in the last half dozen games. They've given up just 1 tonight. They lead it 3-1. 9:18 to go in the second period. And the Lightning controlling the faceoff in their own end. Here's McRae with Casper and Tucker. Bad pass. Bozon now to Ron Sutter over the line. He looks for Zombo up to Rich Sutter in the corner. He'll shoot the puck behind the Tampa Bay net out the far side. Hedican at the point sends it towards the net. And Crossman intercepts and clears the puck out. Ron Sutter shoots it right back in. The two Sutters and Bozon. They can really forecheck. Riki gets around Rich Sutter. Passes the puck ahead to Casper. He carries to center ice. Loses it. Now there'll be a penalty. There'll be a penalty called here. So play is stopped with 8:42 to go in the second period, and Philippe Bozon will pick up a 2-minute high sticking penalty, and he doesn't believe it. Let's pause here. 5 seconds for station identification. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Time Tracks, Wednesday at 7 on St. Louis 11.
Well, this was one of those plays where Bozon was coming across the ice to help forecheck right in front of the penalty box area. Bozon with his stick down gets his stick on Casper, and they both kind of go down, and as Bozon is going down, his stick comes up and just grazes the mask of Steve Casper, and Rob Schick makes the call, and the Blues will be shorthanded.
Beers will take the puck back deep in his own end. On with Crossman. They're the point men. Bradley up front with McRae and Tucker. Up to McRae. He'll shoot it in wide. And they play whistle down. So an offside call. And the Blues up 3-1. Well, we have an opportunity here. Let's remind you, Blues hockey is brought to you in part by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers with 30 convenient locations.
And again, Terry Chris electing to go with Basil McRae on left wing. Watch him to try and set up again in front of Curtis Joseph and cause either a screen or rebounds, and have the other two forwards, Bradley and Tucker, move in on those pucks.
So Bozon in the penalty box. Beers to Crossman, the well-traveled defenseman over the line. He'll shoot it towards the net wide. Now McRae on the boards. In the corner to Bradley, to McRae, back to the point to Beers. Now to Bradley, the puck hops over his stick behind the net, far side. Tucker leaves it for McRae. McRae works behind the net, leaves the puck for Brian Bradley, their big goal scorer. In front for Tucker. Back to the left point, Beers. Right point to Crossman, back to Beers. One-timer deflects off Miller well wide. Just over a minute to go on the Tampa Bay power play. Here's Basil McRae behind the net, works in front. Tucker a shot. Blocked by Butcher. Loose puck. 5-6 players there, and finally it's covered. Oh, what a chance John Tucker had.
Oh, he can shoot the puck, and he was in great position, but the guy that made the play was Basil McRae from the corner, skating behind the net. He decides to make a quick move to his forehand and put it in front. Tucker was there. He took a quick shot. I'm not sure if Curtis Joseph made the save or if Butcher went down to block it as well. And then McRae and everyone went on the ice. But what a great play by McRae, coming a quick move right back to his forehand. He got Butcher going the other way, and that shot actually ended up hitting the post.
Yeah.
Beat everybody. Beat Butcher and beat Curtis Joseph right off the post. And luckily for the Blues, it came right back out, and Butcher and Curtis were able to cover up.
3-1, the Blues lead it. The face-off near Joseph, won by Ron Sutter to Norwood, and he smashes the puck off the boards down the ice. Crossman back. Lowry pursues him around to Beers. He lets the puck go. Quintal at center ice gets it, shoots it back in. Lowry and Rich Sutter, Quintal and Norwood killing the penalty. Here come the Lightning up the near boards. Bradley works to the Blues line, and then a shot goes wide, comes right in front, and it is covered by Curtis Joseph. The Blues had a mean collision with a stick in the way, and Lowry's stick got broken right in half just inside the St. Louis blue line.
And the other thing that's different tonight is that these boards are much livelier than they were the other night. A good play by Bradley. Then the shot will go wide. Curtis Joseph, I think, was caught a little off balance on that initial shot, and that puck just came flying right off the backboards, right back at him. And he was able to stop the puck with his stick and then control it and take the faceoff.
Curtis Joseph, his second straight game after being out for just a little over 10 days, 10, 11 days with a knee injury. And of course, in that stretch, D.A. Bear was great. Hammerlick left point, right point. Beers a screen shot. Joseph didn't see much of it, and it goes just wide. 18 seconds to go on the Blues penalty, and Quintal shoots the puck the length of the ice. The shots at the moment favoring Tampa Bay, 21-13, but the Blues are up 3-1. Wilson forechecking, killing the penalty, bothers Beers. Loose puck at center ice. Wilson has it. Leaves it in the neutral zone, and the penalty to Bozon is over. Here's Beers, left wing to Creighton over the line. Now to Hartman moving in a shot. Good stick save by Joseph. Quintal from behind the net slaps the puck off the boards to center ice. Hammerlick with it. Tampa Bay can't work in. Now Bergevin at his own line leaves the puck for Janney. He turns it to the middle. Hammerlick intercepts. Hammerlick over the line. Roman Hammerlick in front. The puck tipped away. Oh, and Hartman beaten by Joseph. Great save by Curtis Joseph. Pass to center ice to Emerson, and he is just offside at the red line. Play stopped here in Tampa. 6:07 remaining. In the second period, the Blues lead the Lightning 3-1. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. Fans, you can pick up Brett Hall's Top Gun video at all your St. Louis area Midas shops for just $9.95. Remember, nobody beats Midas. Nobody. Tampa Bay with a puck from the face-off. Left point, Taglianetti a shot wide. And from behind the net, Kontos at a bad angle a shot. And it went wide. The net came ajar for a moment, so the officials decide to stop play and take a look. Boy, Chris Kontos just kind of ready to snipe along the goal line. And he was quick enough to really surprise Curtis Joseph.
You know, speaking of Chris Kontos, here's a player that had never scored more than 8 goals in the regular season for any team. He's been on a lot of different teams and has had a few chances. Back a few years ago, he had a great playoff series for the LA Kings, but during the regular season has never had more than 8 goals. And I mentioned earlier, 19 goals in his first 21 games, and now 4 in the last 25. But they've gotten really more than what they expected. Phil Esposito told Bruce that we took some chances trying to get some of these guys, and a few of them certainly have paid off.
From the draw, Ricci left point a shot, and that was deflected wide. Wraparound attempt by DeMaio, stopped by Joseph. Zombo checks DeMaio, and the puck played by Hennigan all the way down the ice. Joe Ricci back to touch it, and an icing call against the Blues. There have been a lot of second periods this season like this. for the Blues, where they get a 2-0, 3-0 lead in the first period, come out in the second period, and typically don't score or get outscored by a goal or two.
Yeah, and I think what happens, teams tend to make adjustments after periods, so especially in periods where the Blues have had a good period, such as the one they had leading 3-0 after the first. Bob Berry, I'm sure, very aware. He talks about that a lot, about his team not playing real well in the second period. So I'm sure he reminds his team, but Tampa Bay has made some adjustments in this period, standing the Blues up at Tampa Bay's blue line, not allowing them to control the puck as much, and Tampa Bay stays aggressive.
Right from the face-off, Barron has a little trouble handling the puck, and it slides to Joseph, and he wisely grabs it for a face-off. Joe mentioning the Blues getting the 3 in the first period. Shanahan, Hull, and Norwood. Kontos has countered early in the second period with a power play goal for the Lightning. Here's a draw, and a shot from the right point by Crossman goes just wide. Up the ice, Rich Sutter, near boards, flips it in. The puck knocked down by Jablonski, left for Crossman. Bozon intercepts, shoots it around behind the net, out the near side. Here's McRae. He's bumped by Butcher in the middle to Tucker. Now to Bradley. At the red line to Crossman, and he'll shoot the puck in. It ends up behind the net. Rich Sutter taken out by McRae, and the Blues get it up to Bozon. Now in the middle to Ron Sutter. Ron Sutter over the Tampa Bay line. Just flips the puck into the corner, and Rieke is there. Clearing it up the boards, not out. Norwood knocks it ahead. Rich Sutter behind the net for Kevin Miller. Miller looks into the slot. Lowry, a shot right on by Lowry. Great save, Jablonski. And now there'll be a penalty. There'll be a penalty called against Tampa Bay. Miller from the boards, a shot that Jablonski stops. Then Norwood, left point to Janney. Right point to Cantal. Back to Janney. Ahead along the boards. Tucker touches the puck, and a penalty will be called against Tampa Bay. The Blues lead at 3-1. They'll have the man advantage. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Well, we've talked about Kevin Miller's quickness. What a play he makes behind the net. Rich Sutter just dumps the puck behind the net, and Kevin Miller, quick on his feet, just turns the other way, finds Dave Lowry walking in from the slot, and a great save by Jablonski. And then Lowry goes after the rebound, but Joe Rieke grabs him and pulls him down, and the Blues will be back on the power play.
15:29, the time of the holding penalty to Joe Rieke. Well, there have not been a lot of penalties in this game. That is the 4th minor against the Lightning. There have been 4 minors against the Blues. Tampa Bay at one stretch, you might recall, in the first period, had a 2-man advantage for a while.
Right at the start of the game, that was a good chance for them to get on the scoreboard first, and the Blues during that period held them to 1 shot. They did a great job actually controlling play and really controlling that first period, even though the shots did not suggest that.
And with a break in the action here in the second period, now's the time for all you thirsty sports fans to reach for the one beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Of course, that means you should head for the mountains of Busch Beer. Face off deep in the Tampa zone. Back to the right point to Emerson. Left point to Norwood. Along the far boards to Hull. Now to Norwood. Right point Emerson. Along the near boards to Janney. Back to Emerson. Shanahan's in front of the net to Norwood. Left circle to Hull. He fakes his shot. Now to Norwood. He'll let it go. It hits a couple of people. Goes to Hull and drive. And Jablonski stops Brett Hull and does not leave a rebound.
Boy, Jablonski's come up with some great saves here in the last 5 or 6 minutes. That was a hard shot by Brett Hull. A good play by Janney. Now, the Blues had good control. Norwood decides to take the shot. Now, it's deflected, and Janney just reaches out with his stick and deflects it over to Hull. And Hull with that quick wrist shot. But Jablonski, who is tall, comes out, cuts down the angle somewhat. But what a play by Janney. Just reaching over, knocking the puck over to Brett Hull for the shot.
The face-off now to Jablonski's right. The Blues with a man advantage for 1:40, and they lead it 3-1. Puck comes in front of the Lightning net, and Peter Taglianetti skates to center ice and shoots it in. The officials here say the Blues have had only 15 shots on goal tonight. Emerson up the right wing to Hull. He is flying through center ice. loses possession, so pokes the puck in. Jablonski wanders, clears up the boards. Hull knocks it down and loses possession. 3-on-2 the other way. Tampa Bay. Bergevin takes a shot right on the save. Rebound. Casper can't get a stick on the puck, and Norwood starts out. Right wing to Shanahan. Over the line. Shoots it into the corner. Taglianetti checked by Janney. And Bergevin gets the puck. Can't clear it out. Left point. Norwood shoots it around behind the net. Near corner. Janney centering. And Bergevin intercepts. Can't clear. Emerson in front to Hull. Alone waits to Shanahan. He shoots. He scores. Brendan Shanahan from Hull and Emerson. And the Blues with a power play goal. And they take a 4-1 lead.
What a play. You talk about heads up by all three people. First of all, it started at the right point with Emerson, who was able to hold the puck in on the boards. A hard drive by the Tampa player to clear it out. Emerson does a great job, then has his head up and sees Brett Hull. Now, you talk about being unselfish. He could have shot it right away, but he got everybody to go down. The defenseman slides. Jablonski goes over, and he's got his head up all the way and just watches Shanahan come in. And Shanahan didn't waste any time at all as he just buries it past Jablonski. Now we've got Peter Taglianetti of the Tampa Bay team. A misconduct. Now he's going back after Rob Schick, and that's just not very smart, because there's nothing he can do about it at this point. He was complaining about having the puck in his own zone while he was killing that penalty, and Craig Janney taking the puck off.
Boy, he is hot, isn't he? He's got one of those Micheletti kind of names, you know, that you're hot, right? Yell, scream a little. I know you're not that way.
I know, I never do that. I never do that.
Peter Taglianetti, I'm telling you, he is hot. He's got to get a game misconduct,
Yeah, it's
doesn't
going to cost him some money, I would say. And he's got more money than me, too, I know.
Terry Chris takes notes during the game. This is one of those seasons, first-year expansion team, where you could have volumes of notes when the season ends.
Yeah, he does take a lot of notes, and this is his 4th year as a head coach in the National Hockey League. And here's a coach that his previous 3 years with the Calgary Flames won the division championship all 3 years, and included in that is the Stanley Cup back in '89 before getting fired the following year.
16:40, the time of the power play goal. Now back the other way. Hammerlick shoots the puck in, and Hartman is offside. So the Blues get a power play goal at 16:40. Shanahan's second goal of the night, his 24th of the season, from Brett Hull and Nelson Emerson, and it is 4-1 St. Louis.
Boy, just thinking back to that goal, what a wonderful play by all those players that were on the ice, starting with Emerson and having his head up on the play, looking for Hull before Hull finally found Shanahan in front. I mean, just great teamwork.
Yeah, Brett Hull is this season probably made more great passes than any other season in the NHL. He has a lot more talent than just scoring goals, despite what he tries to make people believe.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Tampa Bay shoots the puck in. Kontos checks Hedekin, but he'll work up the near boards, then loses the puck to Creighton, but Ron Sutter helps out. Ron Sutter at center ice, knocked down, and passes the puck ahead to Bozon, and that's why play is stopped with 2:29 remaining here in this period. You know, you talked the other night about, Joe, in Ottawa, the Blues stars having to produce goals and having to play well, and they did. And again tonight, Shanahan with a couple, Hull with a goal, so the Blues stars are producing goals. But again, you can have the Hulls and the Shanahans and the Emersons and the Janneys, and you've got to have them. But again, they don't go anywhere without the other fellas.
No, that's right. And you know, you talk about keeping those lines together. I think that has helped this team. And the contribution, when you talk about contribution, you can look at a lot of different areas on this team right now.
Now Bradley in the blue zone, left point to Riki, a shot right on, and Joseph at the rim of the crease makes a save with McRae right there being tied up by Garth Butcher.
That was the key right there, what you just said. Garth Butcher in front, tying up Basil McRae, both two big, strong players, but Curtis Joseph is able to see this puck all the way. Even though it's from the top of the circle, he can see the puck because Butcher's in front, keeping the net clear, doing a good job defensively. And Curtis Joseph, you give him that kind of eyesight to the puck from just about anywhere on the ice, and with his athletic ability, more times than not, certainly he's going to make the save.
Ron Sutter against Bradley for the faceoff. It comes back to Riki. He's checked by Bozon. The puck's still in the blue zone, now cleared out. And here's Riki driving it right back in. Out of the crease, Joseph to knock the puck down for Kontali. Clears it off the glass, kept in by Riki. Then it comes side of the net to Bradley from Tucker. Back in front for Tucker. Backhand shot knocked away. And Quintal just clears the puck out. Crossman back in his own end. 1:50 to go. In the second period, the Blues lead it 4-1, despite the fact they've been outshot 25-16. Riki to center ice at the red line. Elevates the puck. Caught by Joseph. He leaves it for Norwood, who's on with Quintal. The two Sutters and Bozon. Blues try to clear it out. Can't. Then it hits McRae and is slapped into the Tampa Bay end. Both teams are changing here. Long pass from Crossman up to Riki too far. And Kevin Miller in over the line with Hull and Lowry. Three players back. Hull is shot, blocked by Crossman. He can't clear it out. Hull keeps it in. Off the boards to Lowry in front. But the pass behind Kevin Miller. Here's McRae. It's Bradley in the skate. And then Riki from in his own territory shoots the puck the length of the ice. Barron back to touch it. And an icing call against Tampa Bay. Well, the Blues hoping to get 2 points here, hoping that Chicago wins in Toronto, and hoping that when the Blues play the Maple Leafs on Tuesday night at the arena, that it'll be just a 3-point difference between the Blues and the fourth-place Leafs.
And the Blues continue to play hard in their own end. What's happening in the Blues end is that their defensemen are playing much better positionally. That time, both defensemen, Quintal is out there and Norwood is 20 right in front, and he actually made the save before the puck got to Curtis Joseph.
Mark Bergevin behind his net, up the wing. Barron a good job coming in, though, to get in DeMaio's way. On the near side now, Beers clears it out to Zomner. He'll tip it in, but from his side of the red line, Barron back again, and another icing call against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning, you know, are playing a lot of games at home the rest of the way they have to, because they've played only 18 home games. They've already played 27 on the road. The problem, of course, for Terry Crisp's club is this is the first game of 7 in a row at home, and you know, he says very honestly that's too many to play in a row at home, and it's such a long stay at home that the Blues are going to be the first team they see and also the last team they see in the 7-game stretch.
And those are the best 2 times to be playing a team when they're at home, because they've had that long road trip, and to come back and play that first game at home after a road trip is very difficult. The players tend to get a little relaxed. And then when you're home too long, especially if things don't go well, you're anxious to get on the road, and you may not play as well towards the end of that homestand.
Tampa Bay's record here at Expo Hall, 8 wins and 10 losses. Beers behind the net, into the corner to Bergevin, back to Beers. Kasper is up front with DeMaio and Creighton. Far boards, Hennigan ties up DeMaio, and finally Beers slides the puck out, and Zombo races back for it in his own end. Up the near side for Hull, out of his reach. Here's Mark Bergevin shooting it in. And Zombo will go back deep for it. Pulls up, misses a check from Kasper. Knocked down. Hennigan takes over. And feeds on the near right wing to Hull, in the middle for Janney. On with Lowry. Janney back to Hull, moving in. A pass in front for Lowry. Swept away. Now Hull trying to work out of the corner. And he's too well covered. Here's Bob Beers. Long shot at the end of the period, well wide. And that'll do it. In the second period, both teams score power play goals. Kontos, a power play goal at .343, his 23rd goal of the season. And Shanahan, his second goal of the night, his 24th of the year, at 16:40 of the second period. So the Blues leave the ice after 2, as they did after the opening period, with a 3-goal lead. The Blues 4 and the Lightning 1. Coming up during this intermission, Bruce will chat with Blues defenseman Garth Butcher. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. We've got them all ready to go here, Bruce. And what happened early in the period, the Blues went in with a 3-0 lead, and as Joe well remembers, Garth Butcher picked up a tripping penalty, and that gave Tampa Bay a power play, and they were able to get a goal.
Yeah, what they were trying to do is just put people in front of the net and try to get shots. And Beers is at the point on this power play. He'll just take a wrist shot that ends up deflecting off one of the Blues players and goes actually out to the side of the net. Now Basil McRae is in front. Now Doug Crossman, the left defenseman, moves in. He lets go a shot, but Curtis Joseph was coming over to the post, and his momentum after making the save took him down, and then Crossman was able to put the puck back towards the crease. Kontos had come all the way over from the far boards, and he easily puts it into the empty net for their first goal.
The Blues got a power play goal themselves late in the period, and what a pretty play.
Oh, this was terrific. First of all, Emerson keeping it in at the right point. His head up, he sees Brett Hull. Now Hull kind of fakes the shot a little bit, gets the defenseman Bergevin to go down, gets Jablonski to commit himself, and a very unselfish pass as Hull just gives it to Shanahan, and Shanahan with that quick shot made it 4-1.
Kontos scoring at 3:43, his 23rd goal from Crossman and Beers, and then at 16:40, Shanahan's 24th, his second of the night from Hull and Emerson. And the shots in the period favoring the Lightning 13-7. And the period summary brought to you by Midas for mufflers, brakes, shocks, and struts. Nobody beats Midas. Nobody. Two teams will be coming back in a moment for the third period, and we made a comment about Brett Hull, Joe. You know, I hate to see it. There are star players who are going to get criticized, and you and I will point out, as we should, that there are times he doesn't come back, doesn't get into the play defensively. There are other times he doesn't work real hard. But he still does a lot of things, and I think this year more than any other, he has been offensively unselfish, and he makes passes that a lot of players, in fact most players, can't make.
Yeah, in fact, one thing he has done, because of the fact that he's handling the puck a little bit more, is he's changed his stick a little bit. He actually uses a little bit of a shorter stick because of the fact that he's handling the puck and making plays. He says it has not affected his shot at all, which I don't think it has. But you're right. I mean, he's had to play a little bit more unselfish. He's done that, and it's been a benefit for this team. And I think it's been something that's a little bit out of character, because we're used to seeing him score all those great goals year after year after year. Now he's setting up some as well, and it's a little different role for him. But it's been effective, and I still continue to think that we are going to see one of those games where he scores 3, he scores 4. I'm just surprised he hasn't had a hat trick this year yet.
Yeah, the thing that fascinates me more than anything is Brett continually says, I'm a goal scorer. That's all I am. And it's kind of like the rich man who keeps telling everyone he's poor.
He's not that either.
But Brett can do so many more things than just sort of score goals, and he's fun to watch in that vein. Well, we're just about ready now for the start of the third. The Blues have what looks like a very commanding lead. They lead the Lightning by a score of 4-1. So stay with us the rest of the way and see if the Blues can win this one and make it 3 out of 4 in the win column on this road trip. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. We're back here at Expo Hall in Tampa, and the Blues lead the Lightning 4-1. The Blues will be at home on Tuesday night against Toronto. And, of course, everyone in attendance will receive a Blues kazoo, compliments of bugles. Tuesday night, Bugles kazoo night at the arena. Then after going to Detroit on Thursday, next Saturday, the 23rd, the Red Wings will be at the arena. Then a game on Tuesday, the 26th, at home with Ottawa. And the Blues will be back here on Thursday, the 28th, in Tampa. Then on Saturday night, the 30th. Boy, this will be great for the youngsters. Post-Dispatch Youth Street Hockey Stick Night. The first 3,000 youngsters 12 and under will receive a street hockey stick, compliments of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. You can, of course, call Dial-Tix 291-7600 and charge your tickets. Visit the arena box office, open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They accept American Express, MasterCard, Discover Card, and Visa. And, of course, tickets available at all the usual outlets, including Famous Bar and the Blue Note Sports Shops.
Well, we've talked about the difficulty Tampa Bay has had lately scoring goals. Well, the third period has really been a tough time for them putting the puck in the net. Now they're trailing by 3 goals going into this third period. In the first period, they've scored a total of 52 goals, a total of 54 in the second period this year. But in the third period, they've only scored 37 goals going into this game tonight. So things don't look real good for Terry Crisp and his Tampa Bay team heading into this third period. And Rob Berry wanting his team to come out and play the same way, be aggressive, get on the loose puck, not give Tampa any time to handle the puck and to make the plays. And when in doubt, make sure the puck gets cleared out of your own end.
Well, we've got a lot of Blues fans here tonight. Tom and Tony Wiley want to say hello to their dad Leroy and girlfriends Ellen and Kristen back in Belleville. Also Ron Thomas, Gary Dallas, and Denny Barr are here from Festus, and they want to say hi to everyone. This third period is underway, and the puck slides back into the Blues zone. Quintal is back. He stops behind the net. He's on with Norwood. Over to Norwood in the corner, up to Mackey. Tips the puck at center ice out of Sutter's reach. That's Ron Sutter on with Hull and Mackey. And at center ice, Creighton for the Lightning. Right wing to Mike Hartman. A shot off the leg of Quintal to the far boards. Creighton behind the net to Kontos. He centers, and the puck tipped out by Hull to Ron Sutter. Back to Hull, trying to cut in. Takes a shot, and a stick save by Jablonski. Lightning, Kontos near boards to Hartman with Creighton over the line. Kontos trails. Hartman shoots and scores. Oh, he surprised Joseph. Curtis went down a bit. The shot went up, and Mike Hartman cuts the Blues lead to 4-2. Boy, the play looked like a drop pass to Chris Kontos. It looked like that's how the play would develop, but that's not what happened.
Yeah, and actually what ended up happening is that he shoots the puck right through the legs of Lee Norwood, who ended up screening Curtis Joseph. Actually goes right past the leg of Norwood, and Curtis Joseph had gone down to try and find it, but I'm sure he was screened on that play. Surprised at the same time, screened also, as Hartman let the long shot go, and Curtis ended up picking up the puck late as it flew over his pitching glove.
That's the third goal of the season for Hartman. 4-2 Blues lead from center ice. Brendan Shanahan dumps the puck in. He's on with Janney and Emerson. Puck cleared far boards. McRae tips it to center ice, and Butcher blasts it in wide of the goal. Back forward is John Tucker along the near side, but play stopped. They call the offside against the Blues.
Well, that's certainly something that Bob Berry and his coaches didn't want to see happen in the first minute of this period, leading by 3 goals. Now you've got a 2-goal game. You've got some momentum, and that's one thing this crowd, which is normally pretty loud here, and they give this team a lot of support. We haven't heard much from this crowd tonight because of the fact that the Blues have had this team down most of the night, but now they've got a chance to get back into it.
10,425 here tonight. 10,425. That's a sellout. Puck shot in by Reekie into the Blue zone. Butcher plays it. He's on with Barron. And again, Janney, Emerson, and Shanahan up front over to Barron. He gets to the red line, moves it ahead, and Tucker takes over. Back to Crossman, up far wing to McRae. Bradley is the center, and the Lightning can't do anything and have to circle back in their own zone. Here's Tucker along the near boards, flipping a puck out to center ice. Rich Sutter takes over and drives it back in. This crowd begins to chant, "Let's go Lightning, let's go Lightning." They have 18 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Pass to center ice. Hennigan is all over Tucker, and the Blues move in offside. The Blues have a 4-2 lead here in Tampa tonight.
And of course the All-Star game is coming up, and the Blues may have a few other participants in the activities during the All-Star break, with Brett Hennigan having the opportunity to be involved in the one of the fastest skaters in the conference. He's currently 4th right now, and there's only one other team that has to participate in the drills. That's the Los Angeles Kings, who will be doing that tomorrow. The other player is Stefan Quintal in the hardest shot segment. He is currently 2nd right now, with, again, LA finishing things off tomorrow. So the Blues could have a couple more players involved in the activities in Montreal.
And of course, Brett Hall and Jeff Brown will play in the game for the Campbell Conference. Bozon gets the puck in front, shoots once, he stopped, he shoots again and scores. Ron Sutter started the play behind the net with Roman Hammerlick, the rookie defenseman, getting the puck in front to Bozon, and Actually, it might have been 2 or 3 or 4 efforts by Bozon before he was able to put it in, and it is 5-2 Blues.
Outstanding effort by Ron Sutter behind the net. As again, they continue to forecheck. We've talked about this line before. Hammerlick has time handling the puck, but he doesn't get a lot of help from Beers as Sutter goes in there. And then some bad luck on the part of Jablonski, because Casper came back and didn't take Bozon out of the play, and Bozon was able to get his own rebound.
1:55, the time of the goal by Bozon. It was his 3rd attempt. The initial shot, the first rebound stopped, and then he scored on a 2nd rebound. Now Bozon gets some more attention. He holds on to the stick of Steve Casper, and Philippe Bozon will pick up a 2-minute minor here right on the heels of his 5th goal of the season. So Bozon goes off.
Well, that's what Casper would have wished he would have done on that 5th goal by the Blues, because he was there defensively on the play and was swatting at the puck as opposed to taking Bozon out of the play, and then Bozon able to finally keep getting his rebounds and score the 5th goal. And what a big goal it is, as the Lightning came out, scored in the first minute of this 3rd period to make it 4-2, and Bozon's goal makes it 5-2 for the Blues, but now they're going to have to kill off a penalty to Bozon.
Face off, top of the circle inside the Blues line. Beers to Bradley along the far boards. He has the puck stripped away. Butcher can't clear the first time. Gets the puck ahead to Wilson the 2nd time. Wilson on with Miller, Butcher, and Norwood. Wilson dumps the puck behind the Tampa Bay net. Beers gets it to Brian Bradley. 5-2, the Blues lead here in the 3rd period. Right wing pass to Crossman. Drop pass for Bradley along the boards. He shoots it around behind the net, far corner. John Tucker takes a hit from Butcher. Leaves the puck for McRae. He works into the corner, now into the circle to Crossman, far left point. Back to Crossman. He's straight away from the goal at the blue line. Now near side to Tucker. Long shot. He was trying to aim for a deflection by McRae, and the Blues end up getting the puck, clearing it the length of the ice. Now it's Lowry and Rich Sutter killing the penalty with Butcher and Norwood over the line. Bradley will take a shot. It goes high off the stick of Butcher. Along the near boards, Beers can't keep the puck in. It's forced out by Lowry, and the puck goes deep into the Tampa Bay zone. The Blues up 5-2. They're shorthanded for another 45 seconds. Here's Bob Beers to center ice. He gets to the St. Louis line, flips the puck into the slot, knocked down by Contal. He's in a crowd in the corner. Backhands the puck, not out. Creighton, long shot just wide. Here's Kontos to Crossman. He can't get around a Blues player. Creighton gets the puck, shoots. The save by Joseph. Creighton behind the net. Into the circle. To the point. Kontos, a high shot off an arm and over the net. Kevin Miller checked hard by Creighton. Slashes Creighton. Creighton works the puck to the point to Beers. His shot hits Kontos, goes wide. Hammerlick sends the puck behind the net. Adam Creighton there, works it in front, and no one there for Tampa Bay. Wilson can't clear it out. Hammerlick with a puck. Far boards, centers, and Barron there to get the puck. He drives it off the boards and out to center ice. Bozon gets that goal at 1:55, and the Blues are up 5-2. Now Tampa Bay works in, stopped by Barron. The puck cleared out and back deep into the Tampa Bay zone. Both teams are changing. Bozon has had his penalty expire, and through center ice, Beers. Right wing to DeMaio, cutting in a shot. That's stopped by Joseph. DeMaio overskates the puck in the corner, finally gets possession, works behind the net, leaves the puck for Casper. He's shoved by Zombo. The puck comes in front, and it is grabbed and held by Curtis Joseph. 15:09 remaining in the 3rd period. The Blues 5 and the Lightning 2. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. St. Louis Blues hockey is brought to you by the Discover card. It pays to discover, the card that pays you back. Ken Wilson along with Joe Micheletti and Bruce Affleck from the draw. A shot from the point by Hammerlick. Stopped. Good hard drive. Loose puck finally goes into the corner after the good save by Joseph. And here is Zombo ahead to Janney with Emerson and Shanahan. Now the feed to Shanahan on the near wing. He can't control. DeMaio works to center ice. Trying to get the puck ahead to Casper. He fails. Shanahan works to the blue line. Works in, but it's offside. Janney was just over the blue line ahead of the puck. So both teams are at full strength. The Blues lead at 5-2. And we're down to 14:46 to go in the third period. 40 seconds into the period, Hartman scored his third of the year from Kontos and Beers. And at 1:55, Bozon his fifth of the season from Brett Hedican.
Well, Thursday night in Ottawa, they had a band playing at the game. Tonight, after this game, right here on the fairgrounds, they're going to have another band playing, Nick and the Nice Guys.
I'm glad you gave us the name.
And
that's the important thing.
Do you know who has an association with that group, Mr. Wilson?
I'd just like to know who Nick is, but go ahead.
Former GM and former coach in this league.
Icing against the Blues.
Mike Keenan.
Oh, that's right.
That's Mike Keenan's old,
that's
old
his group,
rock and roll group, yeah.
You mean they might be playing at the Miami games next season? Maybe the Anaheim games.
They might be. They might be. Hey, in fact, if Mike's not working, maybe he'll go back to singing.
Yeah, Nick and the Nice Guys, huh? Right after the game, right here before our very own eyes.
That's right. That's right. And they're good. I saw them last year up in Minnesota. Mike Keenan got them booked at a hotel up in Minnesota last Super Bowl weekend, and
I wonder what
we all went there.
I wonder what Mike's been doing lately. Musical agent. Puck cleared out by the Blues. It'll slide into the Tampa Bay zone. Crossman is back for it. In front of his net, near right wing to Anderson. He hits Stevenson in the skate at center ice. Hull gives the puck to Wilson. He breaks in, takes a shot, blocked by Ricci. Wilson trying to get the puck, finally slips on it. Now Mackey behind the net, centers off Ricci, and then Ricci gets possession and clears, but not out. Norwood trying to keep the puck in, does, knocks it into the corner, and Joe Ricci with it for Tampa Bay. He slaps it off the glass to the blue line. Norwood keeps it in. What an effort. To Hull, to Wilson, top of the near left circle. In front to Hull. He deflects the puck, but it hits Ricci. Maltas trying to get out. This line of Maltas, Anderson, and Stevenson played a little early. Then a shot by Hull, stopped by Jablonski, and the Lightning clear to center ice. This line has not seen much action tonight. Now the Tampa Bay player is down on the ice injured, and we have a stoppage in play.
Well, that's Joe Ricci. It was after the play. The Blues with some great forechecking. Brett Hull ended up taking the shot, and as he took the shot, Ricci came across to take him out of the play, and then both he and Brett Hull went down, and it looked like Ricci may have hurt his leg, his left leg. But the Blues kept stealing the puck. Now Hull takes a shot. Ricci tries to take Hull out of the play, and they both end up falling down, and Ricci was the one that stayed down and is continuing to stay down. Hull on the shot. Actually, what happened on a different replay there, Hull was actually falling down after taking the shot. I think he took the legs right out from underneath of Joe Ricci.
Brett Hull in this game has a goal, by the way, his 29th. He also has an assist. Brendan Shanahan has 2 goals, his 23rd and 24th of the season. Janney has an assist tonight. So the Blues' big guns are going full tilt, to say nothing of Norwood and Bozon, who have goals, and the Blues have a 5-2 lead. And with a break in the action, you Blues fans, remember, anytime when you've got a major thirst, don't just reach for a beer, head for the mountains and the refreshingly smooth taste of Busch beer. And you know, I'm not sure what happened there, Joe. Maybe he twisted his knee. It would seem to be what he's favoring. As you mentioned, his left leg, his left knee might have just gotten tangled up with Brett when Brett was falling, and just twisted that knee a bit.
Well, it might be the ice here a little bit too, because they had taken the ice out of this building when the Tampa Bay Lightning were on that 15-day road trip. They took the ice out and had a circus in here, and they also had a car show, and they just put the ice back in 2 days ago. And the players were mentioning this morning that the ice was a little bit soft, and when that happens, your skate blades tend to dig in a little bit more. You don't have quite as much give. So if you get hit with your feet firmly planted, a lot of times your feet will stick right there, and that may be what happened to Ricci.
5-2, the Blues lead it. From the face-off at center ice, the Blues control. Barron to Ron Sutter. He'll shoot it in. Bozon and the 2 Sutters, Barron and Butcher. The puck deep in the Tampa Bay zone. Blues steal it. Rich Sutter trying to center to brother Ron. Can't. Stopped by Hammerlick. They battle behind the net. Hammerlick kicks the puck up the near boards. Bozon there. And his pass broken up by Brian Bradley. Ahead to Basil McRae. Tucker the other forward. McRae backhands the puck in. Joseph from behind the net clears to the corner. Here's McRae. He's checked along the boards by Barron. With 13 minutes to go in the third period, the puck up the boards to Bozon, into the middle to Rich Sutter. He'll crisscross with Bozon, work in, then he's poke checked by Hammerlich. Along the near boards, tied up by Hammerlich, and the puck comes to Bradley. Bradley into the center circle, left wing to McRae, long shot, and a stick save by Joseph. The puck in the corner, Tucker sends it behind the net. It comes out in front. Here's Bradley working back near the blue line now, well away from the goal, flings it ahead behind the net for Tucker. He tries to get away from Miller, comes in front, loose puck. McRae goes for it, but play is stopped. Then there'll be a penalty called, a hooking penalty call here, I believe, against the Blues to have a 5-2 lead. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Kevin Miller goes off for the St. Louis Blues. He went behind the net to try and take Tucker out of the play. Tucker gets away from him on a nice move, and Kevin Miller stays with him but hooks him down. And Tampa Bay will be on the power play.
They have one power play goal tonight, as do the Blues. 7:35, the time of Miller's hooking penalty. To the blue line, Crossman, far point to Beers, a shot knocked down. In front, Hartman, a drive. Oh, a glove save by Joseph to stop Mike Hartman, who has a goal tonight, along with Chris Kontos for the Lightning.
That's why they call Curtis Joseph the Cat. What great reflexes. Hartman with a good chance, but Joseph down low looking for the puck, just moves over to his right very quickly. He turns, gets that left hand out real quick on a shot by Hartman, and it ends up in his glove, and he holds on.
Creighton loses the face-off to Ron Sutter with the puck. Hedican, he'll shoot it to center ice. Now Ron Sutter replaced by Lowry, who's up front with Wilson. Hedican and Zombo on defense. Beers shoots the puck in. Hartman taken out by Lowry, and Zombo clears the puck out all the way back into the Lightning zone. Under 12 minutes to go in the third period. Here's Tampa Bay to center ice. Beers drives it in. Out of the corner near the net. Hedican back for the puck. The Blues lead it 5-2. Hedican clears it out. A race for the puck along the far boards. Lowry gets it over the blue line. Then he's run to the boards and knocked down by Bob Beers. And Lowry has the puck covered. And play stopped with 1:12 remaining in the penalty to Kevin Miller.
Boy, great defensive play by Bob Beers. One-on-one here. He's looking at Lowry all the way. Can see the puck out of the corner of his eyes, but he has his eyes directly on Dave Lowry. And you could see as he was going into the play, he had his feet braced. He was under control, so no matter what Lowry tried to do, Beers was in a position to take him out. That's just a fine defensive play.
Blues lead it 5-2 here in the third period. Hey, we want to send happy birthday greetings tonight to 11-year-old J.Q. Affleck back in St. Louis. Happy birthday, J.Q. 11 years old. And also J.C. McLaughlin celebrated his 9th birthday yesterday.
Oh, I heard those names before.
Affleck, Bruce, McLaughlin, Tom, producer, director. Happy birthday, J.Q. and J.C. Here's Tucker trying to work over the line, slowed up by Norwood. Bradley bumps Ron Sutter, or Rich Sutter, then in front, McRae, a shot. That's stopped. Quintal tries to clear. Hammerlich keeps the puck in, then he's run into by Rich Sutter, but the puck still in the blue zone. Bradley, right point to Beers. Beers a wrist shot, and it hits Joseph, who's on his knees. And at the edge of his goalie pad, he smothers the puck with his trapper to stop play. And there's still 49 seconds to go in this Tampa Bay power play.
Good save again by Curtis Joseph. Tampa just trying to send players to the front of the net to get in front of them. Basil McRae is there, as is Tucker. And they're right in front of Curtis Joseph. I don't know how he saw this puck. Both players there. Norwood had also gone down to try and block the shot, and it got past him and the Tampa players, and Curtis Joseph able to make the save.
The Blues led 3-0 after a period. Both teams had a power play goal in the second period to make it 4-1 Blues. Hartman scored to make it 4-2 Blues early in this period, but Bozon has added a goal to make it 5-2. From the faceoff, the Blues having a little trouble getting a handle on the puck, and Joseph has to dive out to smother it.
And actually, Ron Sutter won the faceoff on the play. He thought his defenseman was going to stay back, so he knocked it back towards his own net, but his defenseman was moving up on the play, and Tampa nearly had a clear break on the play after Ron Sutter had won the faceoff.
43 seconds to go in the penalty. Blues up by 3. Trying to pick up their 6th victory in the last 7 games. Tampa Bay wins the draw. Right point. Beers shot right on. Another save. Rebound. And Ron Sutter gets the puck. He breaks out with Wilson, but telegraphs the pass, and Hammerlick intercepts at center ice. Here's Brian Bradley working to the St. Louis blue line. Left wing for Tucker. Wilson has him tied up. Then Tucker gets the puck loose to McRae behind the net. He leaves it there for Bradley. Now McRae moves in front, back to the left point to Hammerlick. He'll send it behind the net. Norwood tries to clear it around Tucker, can't, tries the other way, and Hammerlick pinches in. And behind the net, Tucker can't play the puck. Norwood does, up the boards to Ron Sutter. He's checked by the right point man Beers, and finally the Blues chop the puck out. And here comes Kevin Miller on the ice. And the Blues are back at full strength. They lead at 5-2, 10:20 to go in the 3rd period here at Expo Hall in Tampa, Florida. From the red line, Shanahan risks the puck in. He's on with Janney and Emerson. Hedican and Zombo. Zomner back deep in his own zone to Beers. Up the middle to Casper. Right wing to DeMaio. Back to Casper over the line. He's stopped by Janney, who clears it out. Crossman shoots the puck into the Blues bench across the way, and that stops the action. And we're down to 9:59 to go here in the 3rd period, and the Blues with that commanding 3-goal lead.
A player that reminds me a lot of Bob Basson is Rob DeMaio. If you remember, Brian Maxwell that played for the Blues. Brian Maxwell used to coach the Medicine Hat Tigers in the Western Hockey League, the junior team. And Rob DeMaio was one of his favorite players because he plays with a lot of grit. He's a little bit bigger than Bob Basson, but plays the same way, always in there, working hard every game.
Boy, the Blues are going really well now, but they figure to be even better when they get Bob Basson back. And I know he is eager to get back. Shanahan from Janney over the line, drop pass to Emerson. He tries to make a move and is knocked down by Crossman. Back the other way, the Lightning over the line to Zomner. Now to Crossman, in front Casper to DeMaio, and his shot is stopped. Great passing by the Lightning. Emerson up to Shanahan at the red line. He'll shoot the puck in, and both clubs are changing. 5-2, the Blues lead it. Here's Doug Crossman getting to his own line. Ahead for Zomner. It's offside at the St. Louis blue line.
Boy, great chance, and what a save by Curtis Joseph. That line with Janney, Shanahan, and Emerson, they came down 3-on-2. They were getting fun to watch as they moved the puck around, but they gave it up, and Tampa came back the other way. Great passing play as Rick Zombo got caught out at the blue line, and they just 3-on-1 the other way, and what a save. But his right toe, he came all the way across. You talk about doing the splits. Curtis Joseph did that and made the save with his right toe.
Now Hammerlick to the center line, backhands the puck in. Quintal gets it, and he gets it again behind the net, but this time he gets a check from Creighton. In the corner, Anderson falls down. Miller bumped by Hartman. Here's Anderson, top of the near circle, a shot that Norwood blocks, and Lowry gets the puck. Lowry on with Miller and Hull. He just flips the puck into the Tampa Bay zone. Beers off the far boards to the red line, and Butcher there shoots the puck in. Jablonski handles it, leaving it for Bob Beers. Toronto has a 3-2 lead in the 3rd period. They're playing the Blackhawks at Maple Leaf Gardens tonight. Here the Blues lead at 5-2. Both clubs changing. Butcher works through center ice, shoots the puck in, wide of Jablonski. Beers back for it. Flips the puck up off the boards to center ice, and Ron Sutter fires it right back in. Jablonski leaves it behind the net for Beers, who's on with Hammerlick. Brian Bradley centering McRae and Tucker for Tampa. They work to center ice. McRae to Tucker over the line, leaving the puck for McRae. He can't get a shot, though the puck, as he fans, slides right to Curtis Joseph. McRae and Butcher have a few words, and they'll skate away. We're down to 8:03 to go in the game.
And again, a good job by Butcher coming back. As McRae went to take the shot, Butcher just hooked him a little bit, so he didn't get much on the shot, and Curtis Joseph was easily able to just get control of that loose puck and hold on. You know, Ken, if you look at this game tonight, 8:03 left, and the Blues leading by 5-2. One thing stands out in my mind and it's the fact that the Blues have been able to get to almost all of the loose pucks tonight. Anytime there's been a loose puck, they have been right in there, jumping on the loose pucks and turning it back either towards the net in the offensive zone or able to control it in the defensive zone.
Face off in the Blues zone. Zombo has the puck stolen away by Bradley. Bradley in the corner, trying to work in front, but Zombo a good job tying him up. And Rich Sutter breaks out with a left wing feed to Bozon. Over the line to Ron Sutter, looking in the middle to Bozon, a shot and a stick save by Jablonski. Then Bozon trips Mark Bergevin into the boards. He'll get a penalty. Bergevin is really hurt. He went into the boards heavily as he was tripped by Bozon. 7:40 to go, third period. The Blues 5 and the Lightning 2. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. Now into the Blues zone. Shoots it behind the net. Now Bradley along the near boards to McRae into the corner. Back to Bradley along the boards. Blues shorthanded. They lead by 3. Right point to Beers. He'll just fire into the far corner. And the puck knocked behind the net. Henneken slaps it up the near boards. Beers knocks it down, and Kevin Miller gets the puck and shoots at the length of the ice. Here's Crossman. Through center ice. Puck goes into the Blues zone. It's offside, but a delayed call, and Rich Sutter works out and slaps the puck into the Tampa Bay zone. 1:10 to go in the Tampa Bay power play. We're under 7 minutes remaining in the third period. 5-2 Blues. Pierce pass to the red line. Hartman shoots the puck in. Kontos after it. And Rich Sutter gets in the way. Now Hartman to Creighton in the corner. Adam Creighton to the right point to Doug Crossman. Back along the near boards to Creighton. He just has the puck along the boards, works towards the corner. Then Fans trying to center, carries behind the net. Hartman is out in front of the goal. Pass to the left point to Beers. Then ahead, it's knocked away and cleared out by the Blues. 28 seconds to go in Bozon's penalty. Both teams are changing. Tampa Bay to center ice. Creighton over the red line into the St. Louis end. Leaves the puck for Kontos. Quick shot. It's knocked down, goes wide. Crossman a drive. That hits a body. Creighton behind the net. Bumped by Quintal. Works into the corner. Crossman sends it to Kontos behind the goal. There's a crowd there. Kontos bump. Now Hartman to Kontos. He centers in the circle. Crossman shoots. He scores. Doug Crossman from Chris Kontos. And a power play goal for Tampa Bay. And the Blues lead is 5-3 with 5:40 to go in the third period.
Well, the Blues penalty killers got caught out there tired as Tampa Bay continued to put the pressure on. Ron Wilson nearly had the pass out from Hartman. And Crossman came in, took the shot. I think that puck ended up deflecting off someone and past Curtis Joseph. I think it hit the stick of either the Tampa player or the Blues player and just beat Joseph to the far side underneath his glove to make it 5-3.
Doug Crossman gets his 8th goal of the season. That's his 8th goal of the season. He is the 4th leading scorer on this Lightning team. Now Bergevin to center ice for Tampa Bay. He'll dump the puck in. 5:24 to go behind the net. Bergevin slows up Quintal. Zomner gets the puck back to the blue line. And the Lightning unable to keep it in. Hammerlick covers up for DeMaio. Ahead to Casper. He'll flip it into the corner. DeMaio after it. He's ridden to the boards by Quintal. Norwood from behind the net. Right wing for Emerson. Up the middle for Janney. The puck tipped away by Hammerlick. Over the line, DeMaio. On the near boards to Casper. He stops with the puck and it gets away. Norwood can't clear. The puck hits the referee Schick. Emerson can't get it out. Casper keeps it in. Now the puck slides to center ice. Played by Bergevin across the way to Hammerlick, and he hammers it in. Tampa Bay is changing. The puck up the near boards. Blues to center ice. Janney. Janney cuts around Zomner. Short of the blue line, flips it in, and the Blues are changing. The Blues up 5-3. 4:30 to go. Now up the far wing, Brian Bradley. Tucker with him. A shot goes off Zombo wide into the corner. Digging after it, McRae. There are 4 bodies there, and the puck loose to Henneken. He speeds out of his end all the way to the Tampa Bay line. Drop pass for Ron Sutter. He's poke checked by Tucker. Crossman tries to clear the puck out and does. Here's Rich Sutter sending it to Zombo at the St. Louis line. Up to Ron Sutter over the line for Rich, but it's offside. Blues. 4:06 to go. Let's check. Our Bush out-of-town scoreboard. Final, Philadelphia wins at Boston 5-4. Pittsburgh has a 5-1 lead in the third over Ottawa. At Quebec in the third, the Nordiques lead San Jose 3-1. The Islanders a big 5-1 lead in the third at Jersey. Vancouver at home in the final period, leading the Whalers 5-2. And up in Montreal in the third, the Canadiens lead the New York Rangers 2-0. Toronto in the second leads Chicago 3-2. And Minnesota and Calgary in the Twin Cities tied at 2. Winnipeg will be at Los Angeles. That Toronto-Chicago game, Gill, Krushelnyski, and Anderson have scored for Toronto. Roenick has 2 goals, his 23rd and 24th for Chicago. So give Toronto a 3-2 lead over Chicago. And that game is in the third period at Toronto. Of course, that's the most important game as far as the Blues are concerned. And the Blues lead it here 5-3 with 4:06 to go.
And how about that Vancouver team, though? 2 losses at home all year. We talked about this the other night. The only all-star on that team is Pavel Bure, and Kirk McLean is having a terrific year in goal for Vancouver. He was overlooked in favor of John Casey, but they have really been something, especially at home.
They're going to have 61 points if they win that game. If Pittsburgh wins, they'll continue to lead the league with 63 points. Or check it, Pittsburgh would have 64 points to 61 for Vancouver. It's been a great year for the Canucks. Trying to work in the Lightning. They can't. They're offside at the St. Louis blue line. 5-3, the Blues leading Tampa Bay. And this is St. Louis Blues hockey. Strength, 3:35 to go. Casper, a nice move around Hull, weaving through center ice. Over the line for Zomner. Now at the right point for Bergevin. He's forced to go to center ice by Mackey. Out Crossman, left wing to Zomner. He'll fire the puck in. Joseph slows it down behind the net. Barron into the corner. He's checked by DeMaio, who is knocked down by Mackey. Casper in there. Barron keeping a good hold on DeMaio, but now DeMaio comes out. Right point to Bergevin. A shot knocked down by Zomner, but it goes into the corner. And Tampa Bay just doesn't want to give up with 3 minutes remaining. DeMaio to Casper. He'll try to work behind the net. He's bumped by Mackey. He centers. Ron Wilson takes over up to Hull. Here come the Blues on the attack. Hull in the center circle. Hull over the line. Hull tries to work around Bergevin and can't. And Jablonski leaves the puck behind the net. Hull gets it. Hull looking to center. Gets the puck to Norwood at the left point. Screen shot and a pad save by Jablonski. Here's Wilson behind the net to Shanahan. Hull is out in front. Bergevin wrestles Shanahan down. Hartman back in the corner, loses the puck. Then Shanahan can't control as referee Rob Schick is knocked down. Adam Creighton to center ice, shoots the puck in. Hartman after it. Norwood tries to keep up with him, does, and Shanahan behind the net. Clears up the far boards. Emerson to center ice to Janney. Janney now to Quintal. Quintal over the line. Just flips the puck in as both teams want to complete a line change. The Blues lead it 5-3 here at Expo Hall in Tampa. Bob Beers to the neutral zone. Up to Hartman. He'll whack the puck in. 2 minutes to go. Blues up by 2. And they have the puck at center ice. Here's Emerson flipping it in. Beers will go back for it behind the Lightning net. Brendan Shanahan leading the Blues attack tonight with 2 goals. Bradley left wing for McRae. Rich Sutter has him lined up, bumps him in the corner. The puck behind the Blues net. And Hennigan whacks it away from Tucker into the corner. Now Ron Sutter tries to work out. He can't. Loose puck in the blue zone. Zombo gets it. And Hennigan has it. He loses it. McRae a shot. That goes wide. Right point. Beers a drive. That's tipped just wide. 1:22 to go. Zombo clears the center ice. Here's Hammerlick. Near side to Beers. He'll shoot it in off the leg of Bradley. Zombo back for the puck behind the net. Clears it up the boards, and Rich Sutter swings at it and knocks the puck out. Hammerlick shoots it right back in. And McRae and Rich Sutter bump. Tucker is there. A host of players along the far boards. Just kicking at the puck. Zombo finally sends it in front of the net. Joseph tips it up to Bozon, and he'll clear it out. Under a minute to go. Both teams are changing. Hammerlick falls down behind his net. Miller trying to come in front. Falls down. Hull gets the puck in the slot to Lowry. A shot kicked out by Jablonski. 38 seconds remaining. Hammerlick will leave the ice after getting the puck out, and the Tampa Bay Lightning shoot it into the Blues zone. Barron ahead to Hull. 27 seconds to go. Hull can't work out in front. Creighton shoots. Great save on a second effort after Creighton hits the post. And then Joseph makes a save, and the Blues will ice the puck. Jablonski has gone to the bench. The Tampa Bay net is empty. And an icing call against the Blues with 12.5.
With the puck, and it'll come right back, and Curtis Joseph, who's scrambling back up. Hartman has a wide open net. He puts his arms up thinking he scored. What a save by Joseph. Oh boy. Oh.
Boy, he's laughing himself over at the bench. That's a highlight.
Shrugging his shoulders.
Kind of save. And at 12.5 minutes to go, Tampa Bay has called a timeout. Hartman there was bidding for his second goal of the night. Hartman and Kontos have scored for Tampa Bay, and most recently at 14:20, Crossman scoring. His goal, by the way, again, was his 8th of the year. Crossman from Kontos and Hartman. The Blues tonight, Shanahan 2 goals, Hull, Norwood, and Bozon also have goals. And let's remind you before the night ends here that Metro Lighting carries the largest selection of high-quality lighting fixtures, ceiling fans, and home products in the St. Louis area. So we invite you to stop by any of the 6 Metro Lighting locations. Also, the Hopper family from Gillespie, Illinois here. They want to say hi to family and friends back home. Jan and Dusty Royer also here tonight watching this one. Now the net empty at the Tampa Bay end. Wilson a pass. He can't quite reach it. The puck deep in the Lightning zone. Crossman has it, and time runs out. That'll do it. It's over. This one is over here tonight. The Blues are outshot 42-23, but that makes no difference, folks. Curtis Joseph is brilliant. The Blues come up with a fine, well-rounded performance. They defeat the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-3 to even the season series at 2 victories aside. And the Blues will head home having won 3 out of 4 on this road trip. Tuesday night, they take on the Toronto Maple Leafs at the arena. Joe and Bruce and I will return to Expo Hall in Tampa, Florida after these messages. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. To Tampa, Florida, where the Blues win again. They've won 6 out of 7. They defeat the Lightning tonight by a score of 5-3. Ken Wilson along with Joe Micheletti and Bruce Affleck. Boy, it's nice to win. It is a lot of fun.
Isn't it great?
70 degrees.
Florida.
Yeah, 70 degrees outside. The Blues win again. They win in Detroit, lose by just a goal in Toronto, win in Ottawa, and win here. And I don't know exactly. I think it's about the last 8 Blues road games. They have only 2 losses. One of them, of course, the 1-goal loss in Toronto. The other was that 6-5 overtime loss in Buffalo. I'm telling you, the Blues have played some great hockey on the road for a long, long stretch.
Well, we mentioned this at the start of the game about this team coming together. And again tonight, they proved that as they did everything. Every line contributed. They forechecked. They jumped on the loose pucks, which was very impressive to me because that controlled the game. Good goaltending again, and just a well-rounded effort.
So the Blues have to hope, of course, that Toronto loses at Maple Leaf Gardens to Chicago, and Toronto apparently is playing pretty well in that game, as did Brendan Shanahan tonight. The Blues with 5 goals, and Brendan had 2 of them. The first goal he scores, Joe, just what a pretty play.
Oh, just a beautiful goal, and it was keyed by the fact that he ended up faking the shot. But the second one, Brett Hull from Emerson to Shanahan breaking right in, and Shanahan had the wide open net, but it was an unselfish play by Brett Hull. He got everyone to go with him, including Jablonski, and then just waited for Shanahan to come back and gave him the perfect pass.
Yeah, that was the goal in the second period. Shanahan had the first goal of the game in the first period. There was that very pretty play where he had to move in the slot, and then finally, even after faking out a defenseman, faked out goalie Pat Jablonski to just come up with a dazzling effort. So 2 goals by Brendan Shanahan tonight, and for you Brett Hull watchers, yes, he did have a goal also. Let's turn now, Joe, to the 3 stars in tonight's game, our Bush 3 stars.
And we could have had, we've mentioned a few names that could have been stars tonight. The 3rd star goes to Curtis Joseph. He faced 42 shots. I didn't think he had that many, but again, he played very well in goal for the Blues. The number 2 star, Chris Kontos, had 1 goal and a couple of assists for Tampa Bay. And the number 1 star, Brendan Shanahan, who really got the Blues going with that outstanding goal in the first period, added a power play goal that turned out to be the winning goal. Brendan Shanahan, the number 1 star.
And of course, Bruce Affleck has been with us all night. He has a studio, by the way, here that is right by a palm tree and a little pond, and there are a couple of girls with bikinis that have been walking around out there all night. How is it down there, Bruce?
You guys may think it's 70 degrees, but it's 50 degrees. We have both heat lamps on, the door closed. It's not quite what you expect. We do have the palm trees, little lake out in front of us. It has been pretty nice, and the wind obviously made it even better. We're going to take a look at the Bush play of the game, and it could be one of the goals, but we're going to go to goaltender Curtis Joseph. Late in the game, what an opportunity the Lightning had against him. The puck's going to come out in front. Creighton is going to get the puck after the Blues give away the puck in their own zone. And, you know, Joe, you mentioned Curtis Joseph playing so well, 39 saves tonight. He did indeed, but none were better than this save coming up. Creighton will take the initial shot, will hit the post, and come back out to Hartman as the Blues try and take the players out in front. There's Creighton's shot. It bounces right out in front. Hartman will be there, and Curtis Joseph, coming from his pads all the way up, dives across and makes a blocker save. Very acrobatic, and what a save it is. And that's our Bush play of the game, and what a game by Curtis Joseph. And Joe, I think you make a good comment on the game. The Blues were the first one to the puck, whether it was in the corner, along the blue line, whatever. And I think they won the races and the battles in the important areas, and that was a key to their victory here tonight, and a good road trip for the Blues.
Thank you, Bruce.
Boy, are we smooth,
aren't we?
We're just kind of...
You're showing the people the moves that Brett Hull made, and
we're kind of just crawling to the finish
we're trying
line.
to get home, folks.
Looking forward to getting home. Now, Tuesday night, Toronto. The Blues have lost a couple times to the Leafs. They have tied a couple of times. Depending, of course, what happens tonight with the Leafs in Chicago there in the third period. Toronto was leading early in the period, 3-2. You know, what a game, huh? I mean, the Blues, they could get the 2 points, and I think they need to convince themselves that they can beat the Leafs.
Yeah, it's been actually the last couple of games that they've played in Toronto, so they get a chance to come back and win at home. We are going to get through this, believe me. But they get a good chance to play Toronto and keep getting closer, because they're catching up to Minnesota and Detroit as well. Let's go home.
Very nicely said.
Thank you.
We've had a good time, as you can see, here in Florida, and we certainly are happy that you've been able to be with us. Our thanks to our producer-director, Tom McLaughlin. For Bruce Affleck and the funny man, Joe Micheletti, I'm Ken Wilson. Thanks again for joining us at Expo Hall in Tampa, Florida. And once again, the final score tonight, the St. Louis Blues 5, the Tampa Bay Lightning 3. St. Louis Blues hockey has been a presentation of Bud Sports through the facilities of KPLR TV and KMOX Radio. Our next telecast here on KPLR TV St. Louis 11 will be Thursday night. This coming Thursday night, the Blues will be at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit to take on the Red Wings, and that telecast will begin Thursday night at 6:30 Central Time.